Feel uninvited. Left home in West LA, I'm not excited. So uninspired. On my way to play the bay while you're alone. This girl's a wonder. She loves me, yeah, she needs to know I love her. I wonder if we'll make it through this summer. Just wanna touch like back when we were younger. Yeah. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. I'm so divided, starstruck, but hate has got some indecisive. I'm over fighting. I just can't wake up cold and sleep alone. This boy's some trouble. When he's around, my problems seem like double. His stupid eyes put me on ice, so no, no. Don't slow me down, don't wanna do this solo. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. I can't help myself, you're a drug to me. I just can't get enough. I know this is love, so come close to me while we're still young. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the tunnel close, it starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I wanna say goodbye. I forgive the pain you gave to me so long ago. Sleepless nights I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts, but you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven. haven't showed me how to live again. Now I'm falling and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye.
You could be the muse to my passion. We can make love like an act of God. I just match my words to my actions. Magic in my life's everlasting. I say I could have the world, don't be with any girl. Something about your style makes me wanna man up. We should fill our cups, catch a flick and do some stuff. I used to one night stands, but with you that's not enough. I don't wanna front, I just wanna see ya. Please give me a sign, yeah. Please give me a sign if you wanna come. Please give me a sign, yeah. I don't wanna front, I just wanna see you. Please give me a sign if you wanna come. Why you presenting games I don't wanna play? I've been on my grind, I just wanna lay down with you. Spark a doobie, hit the town with you. Life is complicated, but I found in you something simple, I can wrap my head around it. Be my lady, cause you keep on around it. You see all the women in my DMs, it's astounding. You ain't gotta worry about a thing, you got me grounded. Yeah, I say any truth that I wanna say. Let's appreciate our youth like it's our final days. I'm the rarest in the deck, call me ace of spades. Life is anything you choose, and I would choose you, babe. I don't wanna front, I just wanna see ya. Please give me a sign, yeah. Please give me a sign if you wanna come. Please give me a sign, yeah. I don't wanna front, I just wanna see you. Please give me a sign if you wanna come. I don't wanna front, I just wanna see you. Please give me a sign if you wanna come through. Oh yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Chop Chop 02, and I am with Oberdave,
Yeah, good evening from me as well.
the Enigma Season 4 champion, returning in Season 5 as a caster this time, not as a player.
Yeah,
How,
I
how does it
was.
feel?
Well, it feels good actually. Obviously, we had a great season last season, but I didn't have enough time this season to play 2 series a week, so I thought, why not give casting a shot? So yeah.
Well, as an experienced player and a champion at that as well, how is there any roster that you're particularly keen on seeing how they perform this season, by any chance?
Well, obviously, my two teammates from last season, Nosti and Heist, I'm pretty excited to see how they'll do. Nosti, obviously, he stayed with last season's Enigma, which is now Puncture. So he's the master sub for there. And I believe Heist is in Challenger No Hope. So obviously, those two players, I'm really excited to see how they're going to do with their new teams.
Yeah, we have a couple exciting matchups today as well with some teams that people definitely have got a keen eye on themselves, such as Primal being a big one that people are kind of questioning a lot because Primal have Shimmy, who was in Season 4 a Deja Vu Challenger player and a main roster player as well. So Deja Vu being a very strong team over there, you've played them yourselves. You know how fierce they can be, and now they have a player on Primal Prospect this season.
Yeah, I mean, Shimmy with Deja Vu last season, they had a great start into the season. I think they went undefeated for quite a while. Um, but Shimmy, he hasn't been playing too much recently, I think, as he moved somewhere. So I'll be
Somalia, yeah, he moved to
yeah.
Somalia.
So I mean, that's the reason why he's on this roster now. But I think that he'll do quite well, and I'm definitely excited to see if he can bring back his old experience from last season.
He definitely has a lot of experience and is probably going to be more of a team leader role, I would assume, in this game. So when we do see these guys butt heads in only 10 minutes time as well, Shimmy, you're probably going to see a lot of rotation from the guy, controlling the pitch, I would assume, making sure Sweeney and KB, if those two are the two who are playing MJ being the lowest DSM player, I would assume being the sub. But that sometimes isn't the case with these teams. But Shimmy's probably going to be that person who's kind of being very wide in his rotations and always looking at his teammates to make sure, okay, are they in the position they should be? Because he has a lot of experience in higher ranks. The only thing really bringing him down this season is going to be his ping going in Somalia, living in Somalia. Sorry, he currently has about 300 ping on his games on average, and that's probably what we're going to see here for his ping. So it's going probably to make his mechanical play a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely. If you're the best player, or if you're expected to be the best player in your team, it's always hard to find your playstyle because on the one hand, you really want to play safe and keep a good rotation for your whole team. But on the other hand, if you're able to do shots that other players maybe won't be able to save or expect, then that's also an option for him. And we're gonna see how his 300 ping is gonna play out, and if he's gonna manage to play as he wants to.
Yeah, and so we've definitely explained the side of Shimmy on the primal roster, but there are two other people going to be playing with him. Most likely going to be Sweeney and KB, who haven't had a particular huge amount of experience in the league. I don't even remember them on any roster, but the name rings a bell enough that they probably possibly have been, but definitely one of those lower prospect players, probably a prospect sub even. Um, so not really much experience in the league before. However, Sweeney is a low 1300 at his peak, and KB is a high 1200 at his peak. So these guys are more on the I'd kind of give them more on the average end of where their DSN should be, but KB, certainly could be. They could have got somebody who's a bit of a higher DSM player, or maybe got an even better sub and had a 4-man roster, because they only really have Shimmy as a high player, and they could have afforded more. So, is this a mistake on the GM's part, Tether, do you think? Or is it that the DSM doesn't matter here and these three will just work that well together that they play like they're high 1300s?
Well, obviously, the DSN is the only value that we have to see how these teams might do. But I think the DSN doesn't really say too much about the team play that they might have or will be able to have, because the chemistry between the players is very important. So if Shimmy, maybe the captain of the team or maybe the leader, thought that these two players might fit his playstyle well, and that they can play against the other maybe higher prospect teams, then I don't think that might not be a mistake. But obviously, there's also the possibility of not many players to be available for them. But yeah, I think if the team plays work out, then they'll be just fine as any other prospect roster.
Yeah, so there's not a huge amount to say on these rosters at the moment, because there's not really much to go off so far. The best we have as an indicator currently are these power rankings, which are almost certainly wildly off in many areas. So there's so little to base this off first in this first week, this being the first game we're seeing, that we really can't say much. But we do know the power rankings. At the very least, we'll have some teams will be correct, and has so far with the results primarily been correct, with only a few indicators of teams who have been predicted lower beating the teams who are higher. So there is some indicator in that Primal are fourth in the division for power rankings, whereas Prophecy in ninth. That's not a huge difference this season, because we know 8 teams per division last season, now 16 teams per division. That's only 5 places off. Primal would be in a comfortable place in for playoffs, in that kind of mid area in playoffs, and Prophecy would have just missed it. So we are looking at teams who are trying to get playoffs here. There are some bottom tier teams who we can say they're not going to make playoffs, most likely already, just because of the roster, and the only way it'll change is probably roster changes, which will obviously happen throughout the season. But Primal and Prophecy are both fighting for playoffs, and when you have that already in this first week, it is still a vital game when you have teams fighting for playoffs, because one game can be the difference.
Yeah, definitely. At the end of the season, you always you think back to one game that you lost, that you might have been able to win, and so you think to yourself, if we had won that game, if we had scored that goal in Game 5, then we would be in playoffs right now. So you always gotta play your best from beginning of the season to the end, and just try to win as many games as possible to secure that playoff spot as early in the season as you can, because the further the season advances, the harder it's going to get, because the top playoff spots will already be occupied by teams that have qualified. So definitely an exciting game, and we're going to see how these two teams play out.
Yeah, we I guess just to go further into these power rankings a tiny bit more, we have a little bit more that the news team offered. Crispy, writing for Prospect this week, says another one of these strong teams are Primal, whose Prospect team was one of the strongest last season, and they appear to have a very strong looking roster this time around. And then also goes on to Prophecy, who says will be keen to do well after just missing out on playoffs in season 4. 2 of their players this season played in that roster. So we have a team from Prophecy, who I believe it's Stocko and Ollie, Ollie Skills from last season. Both were both players for Prophecy, and are now playing in that same roster again. So we have a lot of chemistry there, how important do you think chemistry is going to be for this Prophecy team, who, on the rankings at least, is lower than Primal? Whereas Primal have new players, a player who's come down from a very strong challenger team as well, who I believe got second seed last season, now playing in Prospect. And so you've got three players, one very good player in Primal, three players who haven't played too much together, only played a few scrims, and then Prophecy, who have played an entire season together. Which do you think is going to work, I guess, for week one?
Well, the two players that have played together last season, I think they'll work fine, just as they did last season. And it's obviously very frustrating to just miss out on playoffs. So I think they'll be very motivated to try and get that playoff spot this season. But obviously, on the other hand, we have Shimmy, we have his experience, and I think it's going to come down to how well he's adapted, or his teammates have adapted to his playstyle, and how much chemistry they've been able to build in the preseason.
Yeah,
And
it's a fair point. Like the only chemistry we have in for Primal really is MJ, who is their sub, who played last season, who has chemistry with the franchise, but not with the players he's with. So Primal have no chemistry other than scrims, you know?
yeah, but I think having chemistry with the franchise doesn't doesn't help you in the match that much. It's obviously nice to know the GM, know the people that are there, but when you're on the field, when you're in the game, it just comes down to how well you play individually and how well you play as a team. So yeah, it's gonna be very exciting to see how they've how they've built up that chemistry until now, and how they'll be able to maybe improve it throughout the season.
Yeah, and I think there's only really one more thing we can really touch on for these guys with the little information we have currently. We don't have any stats or anything from any of their games just yet, but we have some results from 8 teams. There's been 4 games in prospect play, 3 yesterday, 1 already today, and one of these results are from a team we're seeing here in this first game. So first of all, we have No Hope, who 3-1 the Swanky Squad, which was predicted in power rankings, in that we said No Hope would be higher, but only by 1. We didn't think they'd be too much higher. And 3-1 is generally fairly close. It's not like a clear team is better, but it's not so tight that they're one off possibly. So we might see No Hope actually go up, or possibly the Swanky Squad go down as this progresses in the next week. Hit or Miss swept the Alps, which is a huge win because Hit or Miss has been kind of low on the power rankings in every league. They haven't looked too good, and so the fact that they've managed to sweep King of the Alps is a pretty big win for them. The third and the final of yesterday, Newts, a close 3-2 game against Bad Karma, and I've heard reports that they had a 10-minute overtime. So 3-2 with a 10-minute overtime. Newts and Bad Karma seem incredibly close.
Yeah, I mean, every time you have a 10-minute or even 5-minute overtime, it's extremely stressful, and especially if it's 2-2 in the series. So it just comes down to the nerves in the end, who can stay focused for the longer time. But definitely two teams that are neck and neck and are very, very close. Also, maybe towards the end of the season, they'll see this game and might be an important game to fight for those playoff spots. But obviously, it's very frustrating to lose after a 10-minute overtime.
Yeah, you could have played. Series could have ended in that time. You've had time for 3 games. That Hit or Miss and King of the Alps game could have finished in the time that it took you to finish that one game that ended up being a loss. It's a huge, huge loss. Not because they got battered, but because it was so close. It means they could have won, and they could have had that win, which is so essential because they cannot finish 2-0 this week. They could finish 1-1. But if they start the season 0-2 that is really going to damage the team morale, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one thing you can do after losing a game 5 overtime. It's just to keep your head up, keep going, look forward to the next game, and try to fix the mistakes that you maybe had in that game. So it's just important to not think about it too much and just look towards the next game. Try to analyze the opponent, even maybe.
Yeah, and don't forget there are roster changes that will begin to happen primarily at the end of week 2. I remember in season 3 myself, we began the season 0-5, I think it was, and we finished 13-7. So, and it only took a roster change for that to happen, and it are these roster changes that you really need to have when you know it's going down, because you can just say, okay, right, we need to work on this, maybe become more aggressive, tighter rotations, whatever it is, and become better as a team. So, for instance, your team last season, Dave, Enigma,
Yeah.
a very strong team. You wouldn't want to give up that roster. So the only way you can really improve it is to improve together. But some teams just aren't going to click together, and a good GM is going to recognize that and change it as soon as they can.
Yeah, well, what we did last season, we started off not too well actually. I remember we lost against E Nightmare, which was bottom of our division, I think, last season. So we didn't have the best start, but we kept playing ranked, we kept scrimming, and in the end we just found a playstyle that fit all of us. And I guess that was just the reason that we were able to have such a strong end of the season. So definitely, if you have a roster that you know is going to work, if you put enough work into it, then it's important to keep that roster and just try and fix the problems that you have. And yeah, we see it worked last season, so it might even work for a team this season.
Yeah, roster changes are one of those big things, and if you see in report signings, there are some. There are never really too many changes from these big teams. You see it very rarely, like Absolute in Challenger last season, for instance. He gave up Liony. I think Liony was just stopping the league, and he just left. And so they had to make a big change, uh, letting go a big player and trying to get somebody else in. And when you're a big name team, if you, let's say it's week 3 and your team is 5-1, that is a pretty popular team then. Free agents who are maybe 2-4 or 3-3 then see the opportunity to go join a team who's on a better record. They're going to go for that. And so you have a much wider choice. You can take players from other teams, in fact, if you have a much better record. And then other teams are left in the dark. And so when you do see this big team lose a player, it's going to have a knock-on effect, and then other teams are going to lose possibly them being good. So a 3-3 team possibly won't end up being 3-3 and continue that streak. They're possibly going to go down, or they might sign somebody else who's even better, possibly, and go even further up. And it has that knock-on effect. Whereas if you are a bottom team and you're just going to sign whatever free agent who's probably not from another team, it's difficult to then make playoffs and bring that back. But it is possible, but it doesn't have a knock-on effect on other teams. So you can't bring yourself up and bring other teams down. You can only bring yourself up, and that's even harder to do.
Yeah, I mean that's the big advantage in winning the early series of the season. If you're a team that's already like 5-0 up, then you're just so popular, and many people are going to try to get into that free spot of that team. For whatever reason, the team has lost or changed a player, because as we've seen it with Liani, he left the league and he was leaving the team for that reason. But even in the pro scene, we just see teams that are actually working well together, trying to change up their playstyle because they're not wherever they want to be, even though they might be high in the standings. As we've seen it with K-Dop, for example, he left Gale Force after, or Dignitas, I don't remember how they were called back then.
Dignitas, yeah.
Yeah. After they just got second at the World Championship, which would be a great win for many other teams. But then they decided to switch it up, and he won the World Championship with Vitality again. So obviously, even if you're a good team, even if you're doing well, you can always think to yourself, can we even improve further? And that could also be a reason to change your roster.
Yeah, there's many different reasons, I suppose, and it does depend on the situation your team is in, and the GM really needs to recognise that, and the players as well needs to recognise which situation you're in. Should you make a transfer even? Should you just work on the play? Is that team possible to make playoffs? And if not, you might have to reevaluate the roster, in fact, entirely, and maybe make some changes that you wouldn't have hoped to make before the season started. However, there is one more result from yesterday, or from today, in fact, the only result in prospect from today so far, and it's a very important one because it's Prophecy taking down Deja Vu Prospect, and that's pretty big because we have Prophecy here being kind of a bit of an underdog in that they're an average team in the rankings. They're as low. They're ninth place, which is kind of that mid area in the table. And Deja Vu are 6, so they're on the cusp of making playoffs essentially in that division. In that division, sorry. So we're predicting Deja Vu to have made playoffs and Prophecy not. And Prophecy have just taken down Deja Vu 3-1. And Deja Vu with this scary team who made it all the way to the finals in a preseason tournament. And Prophecy, the team we're about to see play here, having taken down Deja Vu, a big team in this division, is going to look quite good considering they're going to play Primal, who are only 2 places above Deja Vu.
Yeah, I mean, Deja Vu, obviously, it's a big name. We've heard it last season, and we've also seen it in the preseason that they're a great team. But once again, you can see that the factors that we have to determine the power rankings, as in the DSN and the players that we know, are often not really telling the whole story, because Deja Vu might have had a good preseason, they might have had high DSN players, but Prophecy in this case, maybe just the better chemistry, they were better on the day, or any other factors that played into that. So we can always see upsets, or if Prophecy continues to be very strong in this season, it might not turn out to be an upset, but Prophecy just to be the stronger team overall.
We are about to start now. Teams are about to join any second now, and it is very important to recognise that Prophecy could this chemistry we've been going on about with Prophecy taking down one of these top teams, Deja Vu, now looking for their second today in the second game of playoffs of the season. Sorry, now starting season 5 with a bang, Primal vs Prophecy.
Yeah, and good beginning here by Team Prophecy. They already have pressure, got a few shots on net, but now we'll see the game to level out and maybe get some pressure on the side of Primal. We'll definitely be excited to see how Shimmy does, getting the ball down in the middle here.
Ollie now taking it all the way, KB. Shimmy takes the save himself, showing that leadership and taking it, but might have got in the way a bit. Aces pinches it off the wall, doesn't go anywhere. Stocko just take it from him. Sweeney unable to get much of a hit, but KB comes in showing some chemistry there from Primal, which we didn't expect quite so much. Doing some team plays. KB to the wall. Aces managed to get a good challenge on the corner, tries to pass, not much boost to do so, gets a musty into the box, and Shimmy just puts it away.
Yeah, and we've seen quite a bit of pressure on the side of Prophecy, but Shimmy gets the first goal of the series. Obviously, we've talked about Shimmy to be the leader of the team, but Stocko just with an unfortunate miss, and Shimmy is able to hit the ball into the almost open net for the 1-0.
This early lead for Primal could bode promising, getting their confidence up, whilst Prophecy maybe having this sub, Aces, and a free agent sub, is going to hurt them. But Stocko comes back and shows that it hasn't hurt him at all. And in fact, Ollie showing that team play with Stocko, chemistry from last season, really being quintessential here, makes a team play into the back of Primal's net.
Yeah, and also we see Aces, obviously a very strong mechanical player. So I'm also going to be excited how he does on this roster, as he goes up for an air drag off the ceiling and tries to get a double tap, but it's saved by Sweeney. Now Stocko up on the backboard again, and Ollie just saved by KB. And the pressure is up for Prophecy again.
Ace is down into the corner, gets it all the way into the middle. Ollie tries to take a shot, but Shimmy gets it away, showing that that lag isn't hurting his mechanics too much. Aces backs off, lets Ollie go up. Aces comes back in for another hit. Doesn't manage to go anywhere. Stocko off of the wall. Can't get a big booming hit, sadly. So just sadly goes to the Primal side. Shimmy hits it to the wall, and it's just a bit of tennis play at the moment.
Yeah, back and forth. These teams are just leveling out, but Ollie gets the nice touch below both defenders. Seeing that they've pre-jumped, just hits it below them very nicely and scores for the 2-1 for Prophecy.
It's Primal starting with a 1-0 and now Prophecy coming in 2-1, taking this game back for themselves. Stocko and Ollie, both 100% goal participation with each other. They are really going for it with their chemistry that they have shown from last season, and it's not often we see people stick around, but these guys are showing why you should.
Yeah, now the ball again in the orange half. Primal with some pressure, but saved by Aces. Now KB is there for another 50-50, tries to keep up the pressure, doesn't quite get the flick, but Stocko with the long clear can't quite get another good hit, and Sweeney is able to get it in the midfield again. KB with another touch to Sweeney, and that was a nice dunk, doink from Sweeney to get it into the net with 123 kilometers per hour. That was a great play.
Bless me. Yeah, KB puts it down. Sweeney getting a powerful shot, booming it all the way, making it almost unsavable for Prophecy rather, and now equals it up for his team, not going away quietly.
Yeah, but the pressure is up again. Prophecy in the blue half, trying to get that third goal to take the lead. Aces up, gets it on the backboard, but doesn't have enough boost for the double tap, and Shimmy is able to clear it away. Now Shimmy in the corner, awkward for him. Ollie is there for the shot, and there's no goalkeeper. Stocko decides to hit it one more time to secure the goal there. And that was just a bit awkward for Shimmy in the corner, and a quick pass into the middle. So there's the lead again for Prophecy.
Sees Rezi getting the striker for Master last season, wants it for himself. Stocko getting every single stat point he can, trying to get that stat leader role prospect this season. Stocko over to the wall. Aces goes up for him with his amazing mechanics we've seen before. No boost, still tries to get it in, but so low that KB can manage it. Ollie backs off, allows Sweeney to get a hit up to KB. KB off the wall, can't make anything of it. Shimmy misses the ball. Sweeney getting one touch, tries for another, and does manage to get the challenge. Aces hits it down. Shimmy's right there for the shot, but Ollie manages to put it away.
Now Ollie on the transition to the blue half, gets the ball to the middle, but Stocko can't quite reach it for the goal. KB up on the wall, tries to get a pass towards Shimmy, but a bit of an awkward situation here for Prophecy, but in the end they managed to clear it out. KB gets another hit to the middle to Shimmy, who hits it on the wall, but a miss or fake from Aces. Not quite sure what he tried to do there, but KB up to the backboard, gets a double tap, and Prophecy seems to be stuck in defense for a bit now, but they've finally been able to clear it out just quite a bit to get back some boost, get back some momentum, and try to get another attack going.
Stuck in the middle, nobody able to make much of it, but Aces just tries to take up the wall. Doesn't have to make too much with it. Still stuck in this middle, not able to get it out. Shimmy backs off to get the boost so they can get this hit, and he does manage to just about scrape it, but doesn't make really any sort of contact with it. Nothing good enough at the very least. It is stuck, still in this middle. Nobody able to take a shot for the past, for the past minute or so, really, in this game. Aces taking his time, gets under shimmy, goes over KB, only one left, and Sweeney is able to get it. Just trying to make that last shot and get a final goal. Primal not having it, making their final counter attack. Stocko goes up just to put it down and manages it. Prophecy take the first game of the season on stream.
Yeah, it was definitely a very close game one. We saw a lot of time played in the midfield, just back and forth. Nobody really getting some good shots here in the end. But obviously, Prophecy, the better team in the beginning, especially when they were able to score those goals. But it's going to be a very close series, definitely.
Yeah, I can see this being very close. We do have Prophecy, though, at 4 shots more because of Ollie. Everybody gets 2 shots except for Ollie. Ollie has 6 shots in total in this game. So I think we're seeing a bit more aggression from Prophecy in the shot department. We do know that it was stuck in the mid for quite a while at the tail end of that game where nobody was getting any goals, but for the most part, Prophecy was being the more aggressive team, and yet Primal only had 1 more save. So 4 more shots from Prophecy, but only 1 more save from Primal.
Okay, we've seen Shimmy leave the match. He's probably having some connection issues. So they're subbing in MJ here, and we'll see how they'll be able to continue on playing with that quick sub.
Going for the kickoff for these two teams. MJ, the new player on the pitch, and Ollie butt heads. Aces predicts to go high, goes low. Sweeney with a shot just hits the post, and Stocker managed to bring it up all the way back to Aces, the FA sub for this team.
Yeah, and now we see Prophecy in ball possession. Aces going up for a pinch, and the miss from KB. Swenny now up on the wall again, but beaten by Ollie. Gets the ball into Primal's half. And they're trying to keep up the pressure now, up on the backboard, but a double commit. And MJ is able to get a touch to safety.
Sweeney brings it over to the corner, keeps it secure and keeps it safe right next to him. Manages to get several few touches with the little boost he has. Stocker over to Aces. Aces tries to take it on the wall, tries to get another touch with a pinch. Unable to do so. MJ off of the backboard. Somebody's there. Unable to get the shot. KB just about misses.
Now Sweeney up on the wall, trying to keep the ball in the orange half, but doesn't quite manage to do so. Still, the possession kept by Primal. Now a long clear, saved. KB in the corner, gets it up on the backboard. And there's the shot by MJ, just barely missing that goal. And another shot on the backboard, and another miss. Now Primal is really keeping up the pressure with a few good shots, but none of them really hit the target. They all narrowly missed, and they need to see if they can find that shooting accuracy again.
Tries to get an accurate shot and does, but KB just about able to clutch the save. Stocko now with a shot, just about misses. Ollie can't get the touch either. Everybody's missing for Prophecy. Leaves an open net. Sweeney manages to get it over, and KB puts it home. Sweeney and KB having a lot of chemistry this game, actually.
Yeah, that was a very nice fake and a good pass to KB. Overall, a great play. And we've expected nothing less. There's 5 shots for Primal and only 2 for Prophecy. So it was about time that they finally got the goal in.
Yeah, I mean, Prophecy now, their foot has been switched and they are on the back foot. And as I say that, Stocko shows that they don't need too much aggression because they're going for accuracy over, well, quality over quantity on their shots. Primal having 5 shots, only getting 1 in. Prophecy getting 3 shots and getting 1 in.
Yeah, definitely very important to keep your shots accurate, because a lot of pressure also can be very unhelpful if you just can't get the ball into the net. But now, KB on the ball, tries to control it, gets up, tries to air drag it, but now MJ up, tries to get it in, but misses. Now Stocko on the ball. On the wall, gets a touch to the middle, flicks again, and the ball is saved, but Ollie is there with 0 boost. Can't really do much there, just tries to keep up the pressure, but there's a booming clear, saved by Aces.
Ollie from the corner tries to put it in, clear it on the backboard. Not a smart move when you have somebody like KB there trying to take advantage of it. KB rushes back. He's got somebody in support. Sweeney gets back, allows him to make that challenge. Having a bit more of a back post and a challenge defense instead of having somebody, 2 people back, 1 front, 1 back, and 1 challenging. They only had 2 people back there and still managed to make the counter attack. Prophecy rather, really need to take advantage of when there's only 2 people back there.
Yeah, if you have an advantage, 3 versus 2, you definitely need to try to make the most of it. And now Aces gets the clear off, but almost tanked on. Now Ollie towards the transition, but Sweeney gets the block up on the backboard, but saved by Stocko. He actually goes for another touch, but Aces ends up hitting that. Stocko into the corner. Aces is there with a fake, and Stocko gets the shot, saved by KB.
A great save as well, and gets another. KB being the saviour for this team here with 3 saves in total, getting himself that saviour title. He is really doing so much in that defense and still has the only goal for Primal here.
Yeah, that was very awkward for KB, but he manages to react to it in time and get that important save, and we remain 1-1. Now Ollie tries to get it past MJ, but he actually clears it back into the orange half. Now Aces up for the air dribble. We know what he can do in the air, but blocked. Now Ollie in the corner. Tries to get another touch on the ball, but Stocko is there instead. KB now on the ball. Goes for the flick up the wall, but Aces is there and ready. Now we're seeing a lot of midfield play again, back and forth. Nobody really having too much aggression since that KB save that we've seen.
Now Sweeney trying to make that pass, getting that final attempt in. MJ gets it very well. KB's up for the shot, tries to get it in and just about manages to clutch it on the backboard. Unable to make the shot. It's devastating to see after so much aggression here. So well placed, just not managing it. Rule 1 there taking place in the back.
Yeah, 5 seconds before the overtime we see the rule 1. So probably not gonna go into it, but someone actually cancelled it, and now it's 3v3 again. Going into the 0-second period. Both teams trying to get another shot on goal, and Aces actually gets it, but KB with another great save.
Equal aggression from both teams here, but Prophecy getting more accuracy because they, Primal, sorry, have 4 saves in total compared to Prophecy's 2, despite having the same amount of shots. Primal just unable to make those accurate shots, really.
Yeah, and also all 4 saves from Primal are on KB, so he's really been the savior of this team. And we'll see if he also manages to clutch out this overtime. Now Ollie on the ball, gets it to the right, Aces is waiting for it, goes up the wall, onto the ceiling, has control with the musty flick, but Sweeney is there to save it. Almost a nutty shot by Aces. Ollie is there again, gets the double tap, but not where he really wanted it to go. Aces blocks it from going into their half. Now Prophecy really keeping up the aggression this first minute of overtime, trying to get that goal in.
Sweeney up to KB. KB tries to get another touch. MJ goes all the way, double committing there. Leaves Sweeney the only one back. Ollie takes advantage of the miss, and it's just missed as well himself. Aces up in the air, has himself boost, has himself the time. Nobody's challenging. Stocko goes for the touch himself, gets it down to Ollie. Ollie gets the touch back up to the wall, and it is touched by the Primal team, sorry. Aces back up in the air, running out of boost, only got 50 left. KB onto the backboard, tries to take the shot, unable to make it. Nobody's able to make any sort of shot out of all these great opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we've been seeing all game long. A lot of shots, but not really good opportunities, as Aces gets a musty flick just above the net. But they're still in possession here. Aces up again. Sweeney with the clear. Aces might have been able to get the double tap there. Now Sweeney with the miss. MJ up on the wall. back to Sweeney actually, but he was looking for MJ there. He wasn't ready for the pass. And now Stocko gets it in the Primal half again. A bit of an awkward save there for Primal, but Prophecy remain in possession. They're trying to keep that pressure up. As
Aces goes all the way. MJ unable to make a shot. Save rather. Aces unable to make the shot as well though. Ollie all the way up. Stocko tries to read the backboard, unable to do so. Ollie takes it himself. Tries to make another one. Puts it all the way back for Aces. Aces trying to take advantage. Tries to pinch it. Only pinches it back to his own backboard. Stocko hits it all the way up. Ace is really trying so many mechanical plays here, sometimes at the cost by going so quickly and pre-jumping so much, sometimes does cost his team, his positioning really.
Yeah, he's definitely also using a lot of boost for these plays, but we'll see if they work out for him. Now Ollie in the corner, the ball goes up for Sweeney, he can't quite get the touch out, and Stocko with the long clear, maybe Prophecy able to get some pressure here again. After 3 minutes of overtime, Sweeney gets the touch up on his own corner. Aces is there and waiting, gets the 50, but KB gets the nice touch to safety. Stocko was there again, but now Primal in possession of the ball.
It is a very important overtime here. Primal looking to turn the tide of the game in only game 2. Aces unable to make that play. Prophecy looking to extend their lead to 2. Gives them so much room possibly to sweep. Stocko with an amazing opportunity. Isn't able to get the touch but still gets the goal. And now his team is 2-0 up in the series.
Yeah, for these close series, obviously going up 2-0 is really good, as you have 3 more games to finish out the series. And we see Prophecy here going up 2-0 with a bit of a questionable goal in the end, but it just worked out for them.
Oftentimes you do see these really long overtimes drain these teams so much that they're unable to play and make a fair save really. You've seen in, I believe it was just the most recent RLCS LAN, it was a really long overtime, like 9 minutes, and the team own goal to get themselves out. I can't remember the exact specifics of the teams myself, but you do see overtimes, long overtimes especially, drain teams, and it happens with long series as well, especially best of 7s. If you get to that game 7, teams are completely drained and making whatever play they can. And you see here, Stocko tries to get a great double tap really by trying to dunk the save, and it just wasn't able to happen because the save didn't happen and it just went in itself. So he didn't even need to go for that. So Primal really need to step up here. If they lose this next game, then they've lost the series. And in a sweep, when you look at that on paper and you see that 3-0 loss, you don't see these 2 close games, especially this game in a 3.5 minute overtime. It's very close between these 2 teams, and it's very close in a way we didn't expect, because we expected Primal to take this game being higher on the power ranking.
Yeah, I also think that this overtime golden goal system, it's also the beauty of Rocket League, where you just have a very close game, both teams fighting for that win, and in the end it just comes down to whoever is able to keep up their nerves for the longest and just keep concentrated and gets that final goal in. And sometimes we see such a weird goal in the end. But obviously, you gotta take what you get and keep your head up. And going into the next game, we're going to expect Primal to really try to win this series, win this game, obviously, as they need to. And yeah, I'm excited to see how they'll manage to get that overtime out of their heads.
I think losing Shimmy in this series and after the first game has kind of hurt Primal. They no longer have that team leader. They've got 3 players who are kind of low. I think they've got 2 1200s and 1 1300 at their best. So we're seeing a weaker Primal without Shimmy having that team leader role. Somebody needs to step up for Primal. KB is trying to do it, but he's only really getting these saves and isn't being too much of an aggressor. I think you need either him to stay back more and keep doing these amazing saves he is doing, which we've seen, and then have somebody else be the aggressor. And we can't have him doing both. Somebody needs to take one role, somebody needs to take another, or they all need to take equal portions. You can't have KB being the only one doing everything.
Yeah, and now 30 seconds into the first game, still 0-0. Primal trying to get some aggression going here. KB up on the sidewall, but gets demoed by Stocko. And Aces is back in ball possession. Now Stocko, with some time, goes up for the air dribble, but Sweeney gets a nice clear, saved by Aces with his great mechanics. Now Stocko up on his own backboard, gets a nice double tap to clear it out, and Ollie is there for another touch.
A risky play, but the chemistry between Ollie and Stocko really does show that they're able to know what those two are doing, and they're communicating enough to do that. And it's that communication between these two that are really helping them here and making them such an aggressive roster that is working out well for them against this big team.
Now we see Aces with the flip reset actually chooses to wave dash, and MJ is back in ball position. Now Ollie gets a block to keep it in the blue half. Stocko and Aces both up, a bit of a miscommunication there, but Ollie still manages to get a touch. Now it's cleared by KB to the orange half. Aces decides to go for that boost that we know that he wants to have for his plays. Goes for a musty flick and a double tap, but it just hits the post. Almost a really great goal for Aces there, that we've seen him try all series long. But now MJ gets a goal. Against the pressure that we've seen now. KB with a touch towards the middle, and MJ behind Aces for the 1-0 for Primal.
Aces really needs to stop doing these mechanical plays, because it's fair enough having these mechanical plays like Justin. MJ now getting a free kickoff goal basically. Prophecy just giving this one away after both of them go and nobody's back, possibly trying to make a fake, but Ollie isn't there. Anyway, back to Aces. Aces is a very mechanical player, and he's so good at mechanics. You see these pros like Justin utilize it perfectly, and Aces is trying so much to make freestyle plays, not mechanical plays. Despite being so good at them, he's just not utilizing them enough, and it leaves his rotation completely off, and the positioning is completely off, and it's a free goal. We've seen 2 open nets now. One of them is a kickoff, so it wasn't his fault necessarily, but we have seen when he did try that amazing goal, granted would be an amazing goal, but it's just leaving his net open, and Primal took advantage of it perfectly, now having a 2-0 lead with half of the game gone.
Yeah, now Primal up on the aggression again. Aces in the corner, tries to get it out, but Stocko is there instead. Gets another touch against his own wall. Aces on the ball again, doesn't have boost, so he can't really do much there. Gets a fake maybe to fake out the opponent, but Sweeney is there to clear it, and now Primal have got a lot of space, but Sweeney just banks it up on the backboard, and MJ isn't there for the double tap.
I think you said it perfectly when you said space. Primal have so much space at the moment in this game, and they're utilizing it so well to manage to get these 2 goals, trying to go for a third and just about can't get it after Stocko gets a good save. Primal now are really looking to turn this game around and reverse sweep Prophecy. After Prophecy are now 2-0 up in the series, Primal are not having it and are refusing and are becoming so much more aggressive and have so much more space rather. Almost Prophecy almost getting a goal there, but Primal do get it away.
Yeah, now Sweeney gets a nice touch above both defenders actually, and the double tap against the backboard again. And MJ with the shot to the crossbar. So Primal really, the aggression's there, but they just can't find the net. Another save by Ollie, again on the crossbar. Now Aces maybe trying to get the ball out into space, gets the pass to Stocko, but KB is there. And he has full boost, maybe trying to get the save off the backboard, but 3 people miss. And now KB is on the ball. Goes for a touch, 50-50 loss to Stocko.
MJ boots it all the way up. Aces manages to clear it up back, but it is stopped by Primal. It is in the Prophecy half right now. and they're struggling to get it out, having to make a lot of weird plays to do it, but do just about manage it. They are now being the aggressor team here, trying to get some sort of play going, but can't do it. MJ on the ball, looking for his third, manages the pass. KB's there, unable to make it. Sweeney's the last man back, tries to get a touch, leaves it. Allows Ollie to get that big hit. Stocker goes for the shot, doesn't get it. Ace is now on the shot, and it's saved by MJ. MJ really taking charge this game. And I said if KB was the person taking charge last game, it is most certainly MJ this game, and it has worked perfectly for Primal. They really need to keep this up, allow MJ to stay up, and be the aggressor.
Yeah, it's really nice to see how they've now been able to get MJ into their rotation after they've lost Shimmy after the first game. But also, I think what we've seen this game is just from both teams not really the shot accuracy that they would like. We see 9 shots from Primal and 8 shots from Prophecy. So this game only being 2-0, we see the shots not really going where they want them to be. So maybe next game they'll focus on that, try to get the goals in.
I think a big thing is Primal are being a lot more successful with their aggressive plays, because we did see Prophecy being a bit better with the amount of shots. And now Primal have 9 shots, Prophecy have 8, so Primal do have more shots, but they also have better shots as well than we have seen before. I think both teams are getting a lot of shots. They're both very aggressive, and I'd kind of give it up to they're letting the mid kind of be a bit empty, and it's a bit of a ping pong game. So one team gets a good series of attacks, and then it gets countered or scored, and if it gets countered, then the other team gets a good series of attacks, and it keeps going back and forth like that.
Yeah, definitely. And now maybe we'll see that again, but no, Ollie instantly gets a great shot to the top corner after his own kickoff actually. So doing everything for Prophecy in this first 4 seconds. And Prophecy is now 1-0 up.
It is a great lead to have after such a devastating game for them last time. Having 2 series up for them has been very comfortable, and they've kind of let it go to their heads in the last game. So now trying to get that confidence back in themselves after a devastating game, and they are showing it in the first 4 seconds.
Yeah, now Sweeney actually gets a touch, tries to go up for the double tap, hits it to outplay one defender. Everyone on the ball. Now KB is there with a shot, but Aces gets the save and the air drag out of his own half. Nobody from Prophecy actually following up for that. They just want to reposition, but now Stocko is there. The ball into the corner, controlled by KB. Gets a touch off the wall, follows up by himself, Aces with a half pre-jumped save there. And now Ollie on the ball. Gets a touch towards the middle. Aces deciding not to go for it as the defender had him beat.
KB takes it. Great challenge on Ollie. Stocko missing the ball. KB all the way for himself. MJ just not able to get it. Not able to show himself up just as much as last game, but still doing well for himself. And it's a great little play from the two of them. KB gets the shot, and it's a great save from Aces. Sweeney back in the middle. Stocko intercepts it, gets the shot himself. It does go over the crossbar, and nobody's able to get it. KB and Aces butt heads. Aces wins the challenge. KB not getting a touch on it. Aces gets a good pass into the middle. Gets it all the way in for Ollie. Ollie takes the shot and takes advantage. A great series of ping-pong attacks from both teams, and Prophecy come out on top.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pass by Aces. Just gets it to the far post. Maybe intended as a shot, but nonetheless playing the first defender, and now Prophecy is 2-0 up. Now the kickoff, 2 players from Prophecy going for it. Ollie gets the dunk. KB with a full boost up on the wall, but can't quite get a hit on it. And now Stocko takes his time, pops it up for maybe his teammate, but KB is there. Aces and Stocko double committing on that ball, but luckily they're still in safety in their own half. Stocko with full boost. Now a bit of confusion for Prophecy's defense. A lot of double commits happening. And MJ is up and gets the nice shot to the right corner of the goal. And they find the 2-1, and they're now back in the game. after a nice read and good placement from MJ, using up all his boost, and manages to get that important goal for his team.
Important, you said it completely correct. That is a vital goal, essentially, for Primal. Finally getting a goal in after being the dominant team in Game 3. These guys need this game to win, to have a chance at winning, because Prophecy are 2-1 up here. All they need is to close this game out. They don't even need to score another goal. They just need to keep it as it is. And they have a great shot here. MJ trying to rush back, unable to do it, hits the post. KB just about getting it. That was incredibly intense, and just a lot of unfortunate plays there to not end up with a goal. But as I said, Primal definitely need this, and it's important to get that now more than any time, because if they wait too long, they're going to run out of time, and it's great that they now have 2 minutes more than even spare to just try and get this last goal in that they need to make overtime at the very least. And it's very vital. KB getting that for them. Now equalising up, 2 minutes 6 seconds left. Primal really are actually bringing this back once again now.
Yeah, great mentality by Primal, taking it 1 goal at a time, and now they've actually equalized with 2 minutes left. So this game is completely open again, and maybe Primal can even get the win here. Now Aces fakes out 1 player, up the wall, gets it past the second, flicks it up, but nobody's there for Prophecy. Now Stocko gets a touch towards the middle, nobody there for Prophecy. KB again, a good shot on net, with 3 players up for Prophecy, saved by Ollie in the end. And now KB up again, really vital player here in these last few minutes. MJ gets the ball to the side, Sweeney is there, gets a nice high hit, follows up by himself, but saved by Prophecy player.
Prophecy with Aces as the FA sub, not used to Aces especially, but Ollie and Stocko, a really tight bond having played a season prior. So Aces is definitely going to be that mishap player, but I think this game we need to really look out that he has improved drastically this game compared to the other games we've seen of him, because he's there sitting back a lot more with 3 saves under his name, and the team having 6 shots total, him only having a third of that. He is taking his pie, his slice of the pie really, for Prophecy, and working a lot better with this team than we saw in the earlier games of the series.
Yeah, I also think they've done well to not give Primal as much space as they did last game. But now Stocko gets the ball to the side. KB again off the wall with boost, but can't follow it up. Aces gets a save, and the narrow miss, but the double tap from MJ with 30 seconds left. He scores the 3-2 for Primal. A bit of a confusion there for Prophecy, but 30 seconds before the end, Primal manages to turn that 2-0 into a 3-2 lead for them.
A beautiful display of mechanical ability from MJ in applicable use, managing to clutch that goal. Primal now from 2-0 down, currently 3-2 up with only 20 seconds left. It is in their half. They are currently just hanging on. In Prophecy's half, sorry. They are currently just trying to hang on. They do not need a goal. They just want to get into Game 5 here. Make this an incredibly intense series. Having won... Prophecy having beaten Deja Vu just earlier, Primal are refusing to be that second team. That second good team. They beat Stocko with a clutch 0-second goal, managing it from all the way from the other side of the field. Ollie gets it up, keeps it there, gets past 2 defenders from Primal, and Stocko with 0 second left absolutely refuses to be overshadowed by MJ. A beautiful shot, and it's overtime in Game 4 now.
Yeah, that was very beautiful, but 5 seconds after that 0-second goal, MJ manages to get the winning goal for Primal after 2 50-50s in the midfield, and Stocko doesn't manage to get that third one, and Aces is just caught off guard, and we have a Game 5.
Absolutely incredible now. Primal bringing this back now from Prophecy being at such a high at the start of the game, then Primal taking it, and then Prophecy bring it back with only with 0 seconds left. they bring it from one side of the end to the other and manage to make this an overtime that Primal shut down immediately. Very back and forth from these teams with very high highs and very low lows. And I think it's very creditable from both teams, and both teams are so close now. Going into a game 5, Primal looking for that reverse sweep, having that momentum. Prophecy, we've seen them shut down the momentum in a smaller scale in this game. Managing to equalize at 0 seconds does shut down that momentum that Primal gained from their goal at 20 odd seconds. So I think Primal could take this now. Prophecy really need to bring back what they had before, and I think it's ramping up that aggression that they had at the start.
Yeah, I think what we've seen here is Primal adapting to their sub MJ coming in, and also Prophecy adapting to Aces. So now they've both managed to get those players into their team really well, and that's why we've seen such a close game there.
Game 5. This is an intense moment for the first series of the season that we are streaming. Both teams looking to take that title home in a close Game 5. Aces unable to get the shot, and it is saved. KB demos Aces. Stocko now. Not much time as MJ comes in. Raring to go. Aces off of the corner. Stocko now unable to get the touch. Aces comes in, swoops in, unable to make the shot, but does manage to get a challenge. Buys Ollie so much time. Ollie now with boost to get the shot. Does manage to get something, but Sweeney challenges, and it's back down to Aces. A lot of aggression coming from Prophecy, which we said they needed to get this game.
Yeah, again, Prophecy starting off really hard. They got all the pressure in the first 30 seconds, but now Ollie with an unfortunate miss, and Sweeney picks up the ball, gets a great pass to KB, but saved by Stocko and Aces combining forces there. Aces off the backboard, gets a second touch towards safety, and he's still on the ball into the opponent's corner, picks up the boost steal there. KB now on the ball, tries to get it into middle to MJ, but Ollie and Stocko are there. Managed to get a shot, but saved by Sweeney. And the demo onto Aces, maybe giving Primal a bit more space now.
A lot of space coming from Prophecy, in fact, not Primal, after Aces uses that space and shows his mechanical ability here, going all the way from one half to the other, gets that double touch and does manage to get it. Really going for that MVP in this game. And speaking of MVP, you can vote for the MVP of the series, in fact, if you want. There is a poll up in chat, I believe Doom is bringing around, so you can vote for that. At the end of the game, sorry. Stocko now bringing the lead up to 2, not letting Aces have all the limelight, and is trying to get that MVP for himself. You can vote for the MVP for this series at the end of the game, and what we're going to do is interview them at the end if they're willing, and get a bit of their thoughts on the game, because this is a very interesting, very fun game here. That'll be fun to get their thoughts on.
Yeah, and we're seeing basically game 4 all over again. Prophecy with all the pressure, also getting 2 goals up on the board now, and we'll see if they're able to close it out this game. Now Sweeney in ball possession gets demoed by Stocko on his way back, rotating. Now MJ still in ball possession, but passed out again to KB, who's still on the ball, gets a touch up on the backboard, but Ollie gets a doink and clears it out. MJ now back on the ball, can't quite get it again, as it's cleared to Aces, who gets a nice touch, but saved by Sweeney.
Sweeney takes his time here. KB takes it from him after Aces gets a good challenge, and it's Aces is bumped away. KB with the shot, Ollie gets it away. MJ now with time, booms it over to the corner, tries to bring it round. Aces gets the hit all the way over. KB challenges Stocko, and it goes up into the mid. It's up in the air for anybody to hit. Sweeney decides to be the one to hit it. Aces unable to get the challenge there. Goes high, Sweeney takes advantage. MJ can't beat Stocko. Stocko now with a counter. KB just about saves it with a clutch save. KB showing himself getting that saviour almost, as Sweeney has already beaten him to it, in fact. Primal playing a much more defensive game here.
Yeah, and they also need to try to get the pressure up now. They're still 2 goals down. Now they're in the opponent's half. Sweeney in the corner, tries to get it out, but cleared. Now KB is up on the wall. Can't quite get the dunk. 2 players up for Primal. It almost just goes in. Aces is there with the shot. And it doesn't go in. He hit the crossbar in the top corner. It bounced up and down a few times, but eventually it's saved. And now KB up on the wall misses. It goes back down in front of the blue net. Ollie is there for the 50-50. KB with 10 boost, tries to get it out. The ball is still in the blue half. Aces is there, tries to get the scoop to get a nice shot. Now Sweeney, eventually not there. Stocko gets the long clear. KB on his own backboard. Maybe trying to get a flip reset, but not able to hit the ball there. Sweeney with a great save there to keep Primal still in this game. They need 2 goals in 1 minute and 5 seconds.
Sweeney with his 4th save of this game alone, really being that clutch player for Primal in this game. And Primal needs something. They have a single shot this entire game, whereas Prophecy have 10. And if they don't make a huge change now with their aggression, they are going to fall behind, and Prophecy are going to run away, stopping that reverse sweep happening now. KB
Yeah,
up. Sweeney with a shot, unable to make it. MJ tries to clean it up, not able to do much. Stocko off of the wall, can't make anything of it. Aces tries to clear it, it's in their box. It's a great opportunity for Primal, and they utilise it. Sweeney now gets that goal, 26 seconds. Primal are trying for the impossible dream.
Yeah, we see Aces going for a flip reset there. Maybe not the best idea, as he gave the ball towards Sweeney there, and he was able to get the goal there, which is really important for Primal now. And they have to try and get all the aggression up in these last 20 seconds. KB up on the wall. Ollie gets a nice hit to get the ball away from the opponent.
Primal trying to make that counter. Sweeney off of the wall. Ollie does try and stop it. KB over to MJ. MJ does hit it off of the wall. Stocko down. KB now with a booming shot off of the crossbar. Not able to make much of it. They do keep it up though. KB managing to do something. Aces buys himself time, trying to put it down. MJ manages to keep it up though. Primal doing everything they can to keep it up. Stocko trying to put it down with everything they can, and it's so close. But Primal just can't make it. And Prophecy close out the series in such a close moment. Primal just not getting that.
Yeah, that was insanely close in the last second. We almost saw another 0-second goal for Primal, but it just bounced just very closely before it passed the goal line, and Prophecy takes the series 3-2.
It's been an intense series, and it was intense up until that final second where it stayed up for a long time, and Primal so close to making the dream happen, just unable to do it, and Prophecy closed the win after being 2-0 up at the start of the series, almost getting reverse swept. It was heartbreaking for Prophecy, and it's heartbreaking for Primal being so close to the impossible dream, just not making it. With being so close, you do feel sorry for them, because they had a great opportunity and it just about hit the floor.
Yeah, obviously this can go either way. Both teams on the same level here, but yeah, in the end, Prophecy gets that win. Very unlucky for Primal in the end. Also in game 4, where they managed to keep the ball up and go to an overtime. Yeah, insanely close game. Very great series there.
We are only 4 minutes away from where the next game was scheduled, so I'd imagine that we are going to delay it by a little bit. So we are going to try and see if we are able to get an interview or something with the MVP of that series if possible. If not, we'll just move on to the next game. We do have the Master game next in line. It's unusual because we are supposed to have a Challenger game, but we didn't have a Master game at 9 p.m. scheduled, so we've moved it to the Master game for 8 p.m. and the Challenger game has been scheduled for 9 p.m. if you're wondering. Are you aware of the game we're about to have? By the way, Dave, the teams who are about to butt heads.
Yeah, we're going to 1 second. We're going to have the master game.
Yeah, it is Shadow versus Auto Celerity. We have
Yeah,
a really old franchise, a legacy franchise. Shadow being the joint oldest franchise with Royals, being around in season 1. A very old franchise going against the new guys on the block, Auto Celerity, which is I believe Astral's franchise, who has been quite successful. We just had a prospect game. Prospect was is Auto Celerity's strongest suit, I suppose. They won the preseason tournament, I believe it is, and they are also first on the power rankings for the MU division. So Auto Celerity have a strong prospect team, and they have strong teams across the board in their franchise. I think the big thing we need to recognize is experience as well. In this league, we have some experience for Shadow. In fact, Mutz, the GM of Shadow, brought in Moggy to be the captain for them, and he has brought in a guy called if I can pronounce this right, Deleterious Mac, who is the 1700 of the team. Moggy is also a 1700, just about, but they're both about 1700. Same with Dutch Matty. Dutch Matty is kind of on par with them. They're all kind of equal, I would say. This team they have a 3-man roster with a fairly strong sub in the form of Dot is nothing to shy away from. Dot being successful in the past in previous seasons. I remember being on Insanity, I believe, on season 3. A very strong roster indeed. Auto Celerity do have a little bit of experience as well. McLovin was a master player on my own team as well. He is a high 1700 alongside some 1700 and one low 1600 as well. So McLovin having that experience making players as well. So we have a lot of experience in these rosters. In their captain, I should say, their captain has a lot of experience, and then the other team is the rest of the team is kind of new. They do have a couple players who played before, like Dutch Matty, I believe, has played before, but nothing quite to the level of a strong main level master player, whereas Moggy has been. He played for a strong master team last season. Trying to remember the name. I think it was Insanity or something. In the same division, in fact, as Redwater Master, which is McLovin. So Moggy and McLovin, having played against each other before, now playing again. I believe Moggy will have been the winner of that game. So Moggy trying to use that past experience to get this win. McLovin possibly getting revenge on Moggy now. So it's going to be quite a big battle between these two that we're about to experience. We are getting an interview as well with. We're not getting an interview. Sorry, I've been told by the man in my ear, Doomhammer behind the camera. We're not getting an interview with Sweeney, who was the MVP, in fact, of that series. In case you were interested, so Sweeney being the MVP, we can't get an interview with him, sadly. Hopefully, we can get an interview with somebody at the end of this game. Whoever decides to. You guys decide, I suppose, to be the winner of that series. We are going. Apparently, we're going now for the interview. In fact, after being told not, we are going for the interview. We're just going down onto the channel over, so we'll be back in hopefully only a few seconds now to interview Sweeney, the MVP of that game. Hello, everybody. We are now back. Quick promo, just to break off there. We are going to be interviewing Sweeney now, who was the MVP of that game in just a second. We're just moving over for 1 second. Sweeney, hello. How are you doing?
Hello.
Uh,
I'm quite alright.
Close series you've just had there.
It was, yeah.
How do you feel about the intensity and that rivalry? Being so high up on the power rankings as you were, how does it feel to now be back? To have lost, rather, to a team who's 9th in the power rankings compared to your 4th.
I don't know. I'm not really like looking at the power rankings. I'm just looking at how the games went, and we played well. It was unfortunately that Shimmy had internet issues, so we had to grab a sub. But still, it was a good game. So I'm happy how it turned out, and we played well. And congrats to the guys for them. Yeah, but congrats to them for winning.
Do you reckon that you would have won with Shimmy if you hadn't switched?
If Shimmy was in England, definitely, yeah.
So
but he's in Somalia right now, so he's having like internet issues.
is the main roster, would you say, for Primal without Shimmy, possibly?
I'm not sure. I feel like the 4 of us, we don't really like count MJ as a sub, but like roster wise, he is the sub. So yeah, without Shimmy, yeah, it's gonna be hard. But
yeah, I think MJ definitely proved himself in that game,
yeah,
and I think you guys had some great chemistry together that we saw, and it was surprising to see that chemistry because we expected a lot of chemistry out of Prophecy, and we said before your game started that you guys would have better skill but wouldn't have that chemistry, and it turned out you guys did have a lot of chemistry, in fact, but you still just about got beaten. So how do you feel about your chemistry and your general play as well going forward throughout the season?
I feel like the more games we play, like the nerves get down, and then it should be easier to play. And our team, like in general, really, the nerves is a problem for us. So once the nerves get down, we should be able to win a lot more games.
So we did see a game 5 and very close to making it to overtime. You just about managed to get that goal to make it 2-1 in the final minutes, final 30 seconds, I believe it was. And then it just hit 0 seconds as it was going into the goal. How did you react to that, I guess, you and your team?
Oh, it was so unfortunate. MJ was so happy to like get the shot and then just bounce on the goal line. But we're still happy with how the game turned out because, especially Stockholm Gaming, it play really well, and they had to get a sub in like last minute, and they play like chemistry wise really good to get a sub in with the sub. But yeah, still, it's unfortunate it didn't go in, obviously, but they deserve it.
It was very intense, and we were very devastated for you. Almost managing that reverse sweep as well.
Yeah,
you guys were very close in managing that.
Yeah.
So going forward, do you know what your next game is this week?
It's against Sonic Wave tomorrow.
How do you feel about this game then, going against, after playing Prophecy now, who have been ranked supposedly better, possibly? How do you feel about going against Sonic Wave?
Well, for me personally, I feel like it's going to be a good game since that day I'm going to be off from work as well. So it's going to be easier. So I'm not going to be as tired as I was today. And I think KB should be there as well. And Shimmy has hopefully got less lag than he had today.
So, final question, I suppose. At the end of the season, out of the 16 places you could end up, where do you predict yourself to end up? Do you predict playoffs?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you reckon you'll
hope.
just about clutch it?
Yeah, I think we're just about gonna be in, and like as soon as we like get in, then we're gonna like pop off because then Jimmy's gonna be back in England. Like as soon
Oh,
as the
is
playoff
he going to be
starts,
back in
Jimmy.
England for
Yeah,
playoffs?
as soon as the playoff starts, he's gonna be back in England, and I'm gonna have my new PC as well, so it's gonna be nice.
Right. So, is there any team then? I guess if you're predicting yourself just about clutching playoffs, is there any team who might comfortably make playoffs then that you're potentially worried about facing in the next few weeks?
Oh, back home, I definitely. Back home, we played them twice in scrims, and both the times, like I think we barely won. But the second time they just got a new roster, so they played for the first time, and then we barely won. So it's going to be forcing a record with when they play better, and they've got have the better chemistry.
If you're worried about bad karma, I'd certainly be worried about Newts because those guys had a game 5 just like you in Prophecy as well yesterday. So those guys are pretty close. So I'd also watch out for Newts if you're worried about bad karma. But very interesting. You've got bad karma on your radar.
Yeah, it's
So
because it's the only team like from the scrim like I remember that well, and obviously like Tuten's team is going to be
crossfade.
yeah, it's going to be forced to reckon with as well. But like those the teams I remember from playing from scrims. Like I'm not the one that looks at stats since my stats aren't that great, and I feel like I play better than my stats show.
Well, excited to see how you do and see how you guys progress. You obviously got MVP, so congrats for
Yeah,
that.
cheers, man.
And I hope that you can hopefully get the win next time that you get MVP.
Yeah, I hope I hope so as well. Yeah, cheers.
Thank you for being here. We'll go back to Shadow versus Auto Celerity in just a minute.
Don't stop. I'm on fire. 1, 2, 1, 2. I love you. No. 1, 2, 1, 2. Don't stop. I'm on fire. 1, 2, 1, 2. I love you. One, two, three. No.
Welcome back to Shadow versus Auto Celerity. Going from the Prospect League up to the Master League, we have a big difference in skill about to show itself. Two fairly big teams, I'd say. I'm going to try and check the rankings that we have. In the meantime, I am. If you didn't catch the last game, I'm Chop, and I'm with Oberdave here.
Hello. So now we've seen the prospect game, and now we're moving on to masters. Obviously, a big difference as all of the master players are grand champ, and probably have a lot more experience in the game and in different tournaments. So we're really excited to see how this is gonna play out.
Yeah, I think the big thing, not only is this just a master game, because we're going to show 2 of those a week, hopefully, it's also a pretty big master game that we're showing in only week 1. Not necessarily because these 2 are the best teams in the league that we have, but primarily because Shadow and Auto Celerity, these 2 teams are 1 away from each other in these power rankings. And as we say, power rankings, especially now more than ever, really aren't that big of a deal. Because we don't know too much about these teams right now. We only have a little bit to go off. But from what we have to go off, we predicted these teams to be only 1 apart, and at 6 and 7, these 2 are fighting for playoffs. Already in week 1, this could be a big moment. These might be only a one game away from playoffs potentially in only 8 weeks' time. And they're going to want this game. They're going to want to look back on this and say that this is what gave them the edge.
Yeah, and now the beginning seconds, not much has happened. Moggy gets the ball onto the wall. Dutch Matty with the narrow miss. Deleterious Mac up to Dutch Matty, who narrowly misses the goal. Good pass play here. Now another pass play, and that was beautiful. And KJJC eventually manages to get the first goal for Auto Celerity. McLovin to KJJC, and McLovin trying to get that first shot into the net, but KJJC is there to score for him as he narrowly missed.
A beautiful play from the 2 players on Auto Celerity. Those guys showing their chemistry together so much better than we've seen in the prospect games. A great series of attacks working together, utilising each other more than anything, and positioning themselves perfectly to get that touch that just about manages to mug off Shadow.
Now, Dutch Matty getting a block there, Rope with the clear, but it's just back to Moggy. And McLovin eventually the long clear down to Deleterious Mac, who gets another touch off the wall, but KJ is there. Actually going on net, but Moggy gets the save and gets another power clear off the wall towards McLovin. But there's Deleterious Mac with another shot on net and another save by KG.
Rope going all the way himself, manages to get the perfect challenge of Mac. Goes all the way, McLovin now getting a second goal for his team, and Rope actually gets the passing play here. Now we have assists on both sides. I think Auto Celerity are already in the first minute and a half, being 2 goals up, have showed a lot more chemistry together than Shadow possibly have, having both their goals being assisted by different people.
Yeah, they're looking very strong, getting these pass plays in the first 1.5 minutes, and we'll see if they can keep it up throughout this game and throughout the series. But now Moggy tries to get a shot on, missed by KJ and Deleterious Mac. Rope fakes Dutch Matty. KJ was almost there for the shot, but Rope takes it himself and it's saved by Moggy. Auto Celerity with a lot of pressure now. The ball is almost permanently in the blue half, but as they manage to clear it out for once.
Shadow are struggling to manage to get it out of their half, really. They're getting it out for a second or 2, but just can't make much of it. Auto Celerity with a shot that just about goes wide. Shadow counting themselves lucky, managed to get a counter, but it doesn't go anywhere with it. Shadow are getting these touches on the ball, but cannot follow it up at all.
Now McLovin tries to get a nice double tap, but doesn't quite hit it. The ball's still in Shadow's half, as they can't get it out, and everyone is starved, everyone is on 0 boost. Just tries to get a 50 there. Moggy hits the ball up high, maybe follows it up by himself onto the backboard, but McLovin with a nice pinch with the wall to get it back into Shadow's half. Now Deleterious Mac taking his time, with full boost, but actually not a good 50-50 for him, as McLovin takes the opportunity and challenges him, and the ball just rolls in past Dutch Matty, and Moggy can't quite reach it, and that's the 3-0 for Auto Celerity. Now, another kickoff. McLovin and Dutch
From what we
Matty is
thought
up
would
on the
be a
wall.
much... Sorry, internet
Yeah.
problems.
It's no problem.
From what we thought would be a much closer game, so far, I suppose you could say Auto Celerity have kind of been running away with it.
Yeah, they're definitely looking very strong. They've had all the pressure up on Shadow, and you can also see it with the 3-0 goals scored. And they're not stopping there. They're still keeping up the pressure, trying to get another goal in. But now Shadow gets a clear into the opponent's half.
Auto Celerity now struggling to get out of their half, but manage it. Moggy, the only one back, just about able to get it from one side to the other. Very close and just about able to get it. Moggy has a lot of speed we're seeing in this game, kind of being the one to control the speed for his team, having to go back from being attacking and getting back really quickly and getting a clutch save, showcased by his 3 save stats. Dutch Matty being the only other one on his team to get a save and only has 1 to his name, so Moggy is really that speedy person for the team that Shadow need if they're going to make any sort of attack here, which they are struggling to do. Auto Celebrity currently are running away with the game.
Yeah, another goal here. McLovin with good placement, but he kind of gets a pass from the opponent team as they double commit and don't get a great clear there. And now it's 4-0, and Shadow are probably just wanting to maybe score 1 more goal for confidence, but just to close out this game, go into the next one and try to start off better against this really strong Auto Celerity team.
Almost getting that 1 more, just unable to do it. McLovin with an insane save. How does this man do it? This team has been incredible, showcasing their skill. And while Shadow haven't been playing awful, Auto Celerity have been playing amazing. And so I think Shadow definitely haven't been playing bad. They just need to step it up a lot more. And whilst this game is completely dead for them, they're not going to get a win and most likely won't even score this game. What they need to do is figure out, okay, let's take our time, let's just think, what are we going to do to continue here? How are we going to possibly turn this around in the next game?
Yeah, and I also don't think that it's Shadow playing bad necessarily. It's just that Auto Celerity has so much pressure on Shadow that Shadow hasn't gotten a chance to show their offensive skill because they've always been boost starved. And as soon as they get the ball, they've cleared it out to reposition, to get boost again. And by clearing the ball out, they've just given the possession away to Auto Celerity again. And they've just been racking up shots and racking up pressure, and that's why they scored 4 goals in this game.
I think you raised a fair point with the aggression. Auto Celerity have 8 saves, 8 shots rather, to their name, and Shadow only have 3. Auto Celerity have more than 2 times their amount of shots. So Auto Celerity are really properly pushing these shots. And out of these 8 shots, they've managed to score 50% of them. And usually when you see so many shots from one team, they're not scoring a lot. And if they have, let's say, 12 shots, they might only have 2 or 3 goals because they're just getting lots of shots, not necessarily good shots. And it's quantity over quality. But this team is managing to get quantity and quality, which is a really strong attack for this Auto Celerity team that they are able to take advantage of, and Shadow just cannot defend.
Yeah, and they need to try to get out of their defense smarter now. Maybe clear the ball to a teammate, get boost earlier, and that way they might also be able to build up a bit of offensive aggression. Now, Dutch Matty trying to get the ball into the other half, but blocked. Now Moggy up, trying to get the follow-up touch. Rope gets the nice hit off the wall and actually plays it around another defender. Dutch Matty off the backboard, 50-50 with McLovin.
Rope tries to go up for it, isn't able to get much of a touch. McLovin takes his time, manages to get away from Dutch Matty. Mac now trying to challenge. McLovin gets past it, but Moggy's there. Matty demoing KJJ. McLovin not able to get a touch. Mac now has a lot of time, has himself a lot of boost, tries to find his teammate, isn't able to do so. KJ comes in and it is cleared away to the side from the Shadow defense. It's back in though. Dutch Matty not able to get the touch, and Mac has to bring it up. Moggy brings himself back, allows a lot more time and a bit more defense. Gets a 2-man attack going. Moggy is now stalling for time. Matty brings it to the corner, just trying to make that attack start. Shadow now, Moggy with a great shot, just going wide and Matty cannot secure it.
Yeah, we've seen Shadow actually getting that offensive pressure that they've wanted the whole of last game, and now they just need to work on their shooting accuracy to score it. Now Dutch Matty in a dangerous position, narrowly misses, and another miss by Mag. That was really unfortunate, and there's the shooting accuracy again. They need to score those chances, especially against Auto Celerity, where they've been pressed into their defense for so long and finally have managed to get out. But now another shot, saved by McLovin. They're really not making it easy for them, getting these clutch saves.
It is a lot better from Shadow this game. Already, last game you would have seen 2-0 up from Auto Celerity, and now Auto Celerity haven't had a shot. Shadow playing Auto Celerity at their own game. With 4 shots, they are being so much better at being aggressive. However, Auto Celerity did manage a 50% shooting record in that last game, and they've got 4 shots with 0 goals. So they're not getting any quality shots, despite the quantity there. But it is still shutting AC down completely, allowing them to not have a single shot. So currently it is working for Shadow, but AC could just make a small breakaway at some point and just about get a goal if they're lucky.
Yeah, now the ball in AC's possession again, but quite a low hit from KJ, but McLovin clears it very far, but it's caught by Mac, who actually 50s McLovin again. Now KJ up on the wall, tries to get it to a teammate, but no one's there in the middle, and Moggy picks it up. Rope with full boost, gets another touch, but decides to leave it for his teammate there. Dutch Matty to Mac, who actually dunks KJ, and now Moggy was up for the shot, but great save by McLovin. These clutch saves by Auto Celerity are keeping them in this game, as they still haven't found a shot.
I think I'd like to retract my statement of quality shots from Shadow. They certainly have had the quality shots, it's just that AC have had even better quality saves. It's absolutely insane the saves that this team is managing to get from absolutely insane shots from Shadow. These two are doing really well at different areas of the game. Last time we just saw AC dominate the game in purely attack. AC just cannot get a shot going. And Shadow just cannot get a goal really, despite so many quality shots. It's just not working for them because of AC's purely defensive ability, really.
Yeah, great saves by AC there. And Primal, Shadow, I mean, they're still looking to get that goal, and they get it there with a nice pass to Moggy, who puts it in the empty net. And I think this just came down to Shadow having a lot of pressure, starving out the opponents, and there they just have a lot of space to score that with 1 minute left.
The application of this pressure has really worked out after having a lot of pressure, and then AC finally decided, okay, we need to break away here. AC getting a goal after so much work from Shadow. AC gets a kickoff goal. It's devastating to see. Shadow really need to keep up this aggression if they're going to get this back. To get the kickoff goal and just move on. But as I was saying, Shadow really have had a lot of aggression, and AC finally decided to break away, try and get a shot, which is where they got their first and only shot before that kickoff goal. And Shadow got the save, got the clear, and made such a quick counter-attack. AC, after finally getting a shot, did not have anybody back, and Shadow took advantage and saw the open net, took the shot and got the goal. However, AC have now countered with a kickoff goal, and it's now back to 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Auto Celerity, that's exactly what you want to happen. You're 1-0 down 1 minute before the end of the match, so you really don't have a lot of time, but you get that goal, and now you're back in the game. and it's anyone's game now with 15 seconds left. The ball up on the backboard of Otto Celerity, and another save by KJ. They're on 6 saves now as a team, and they might just get the breakaway goal here. KJ scores it, and with 3 seconds left, Otto Celerity are up by a goal. They get a pinch to save that towards KJ, and I guess Shadow were just caught out there, tried to get the pressure up, all of them actually up, so yeah.
Absolutely insane. You'd see this if AC win the next one, they're getting a sweep, in fact. You could not imagine how much better Shadow were this game than AC. AC taking the first game by storm. Shadow dominating this game for so long. And Auto Celerity hang on by a thread with such amazing saves. And managed to get these 2 goals that Shadow really shouldn't, be letting out. And still they do, and it does bite them in the back. Shadow with 10 shots to Auto Celerity's 3, more than a 50% shooting percentage last game. We said that they had quality shots because of 50% last time. Now they have even more, scoring 2/3 of the shots they've scored. Shadow, with 10 shots, only got 1 goal in. 10% shooting accuracy is absolutely... It's really kind of atrocious. And you'd think that means that these shots are really poor, but they have some amazing shots that AC are just somehow getting the save for, and it is insane from both teams. Shadow, I think, just need to keep this aggression up, and I think not let that back line fall this time.
Yeah, I mean, they were really trying to get that goal. They were really aggressing on the half of Auto Celerity, and that's why they also let that goal go in the end. And maybe if they keep up that defense as well this game, they'll be able to get a game off of Auto Celerity and try to get the reverse sweep in this series.
They are trying to do what Primal could not. Primal did manage to get to Game 5 last game and almost got that goal at 0 seconds, but just couldn't do it. Shadow now trying to do that, make it a Game 5 series, but Auto Celerity will be trying to shut that down immediately. Moggy not having any of it with an absolutely insane shot.
Yeah, that was a great pass by Dutch Matty, seeing Moggy upfield, and he just perfectly shot that into the goal. There was also no defender there, absolutely perfect play. And it's 1-0 up for Shadow here.
Moggy, absolutely insane managing that. 0 boost from what I could see. Nothing in the tank. Jumps and flips from one side of the wall and manages to get all the way over to the post and just about gets it. Used to pre-flip that perfectly to get that shot, and he manages it. So many people couldn't do that with boost, and he manages it with nothing in the tank. Rope with an even better one, showing Moggy up a double tap from all the way at the other end.
Yeah, we're really seeing some great goals in this series. Dutch Matty barely missing out on that save, but Rope just hits the perfect double tap. And after just 31 seconds into this game, it's 1-1 again.
What an angle from Rope there, showing that being such a low DSM player for his team means absolutely nothing. Showing his team up and everybody else in the lobby. Moggy trying to get some glory with that goal, can't. And Auto Celebrity once again shut down Shadow's lead immediately, and this time in style.
Yeah, now Moggy tries to get another goal, and we're just seeing clips hit in this game. After just about 1 minute played, we've seen 3 great goals. Moggy hits that onto the backboard and gets the perfect double tap. KG wasn't fast enough to reach it, and we see Shadow 2-1 up again.
2 of these goals now backboards, and all 3 being from one end to the other. These teams really need to watch these clears that are going from one end to the other. They need to try and make sure it goes to the corner or the side, and that it doesn't boom up so far all the way to the backboard where they can utilise it. Mac nearly getting the 3rd for Shadow and getting himself the most comfortable lead Shadow would have had this series so far. Just unable to do it though. It is in the Shadow defense. Also, Celebrity try the shot. McLovin just cannot get it. KJJ tries to put it back. Mac all the way to Dutch Matty. Dutch Matty tries a shot, unable to make it, goes up the backboard just as they tried before. McLovin does get it down. Rope down to KJJ. Everybody's up for AC. It is almost working out, but Moggy does have himself time and gets past Rope. 2 players in the same place for AC. KJJ beaten by Mac. Moggy tries the shot. Doesn't matter. Mac scores. McLovin cannot get the save.
Yeah, we've seen some good plays by Auto Celerity, really looking for each other, but they're just paced out by Shadow as they get the 3rd goal, and quite a comfortable lead now, with 3 minutes, 10 seconds left.
This has been an insane series so far, and Shadow finally reaping the reward of their attack, which they weren't able to get last time. Auto Celerity not letting it hang out for long though, making it a 1-goal game in difference. Now getting a shot from the backboard once again. That backboard is getting absolutely battered this game.
Yeah, they're really utilizing it really well, and KJ obviously with the perfectly placed shot, and they're back just with a 1-goal deficit here. Now off the backboard again, but saved by Mag, almost the equalizer for McLovin. Now taken into control by Moggy, but saved by Dutch Matty. The ball out into the orange, but it's keeping in there actually. McLovin tries to get another touch, but Mag with a great interception tries to pinch it off the wall. Dutch Matty up on the backboard again, but no one's there to follow up, and KJ gets the clear.
Mac does manage to get away from KJJ despite him getting the demo. McLovin has a bit of time, but Moggy doesn't let it happen for long. Rope from the corner. Mac now tries to get it down to Moggy. Moggy not able to turn fast enough, and McLovin now making the breakaway. KJJ with a shot, just going wide, and Rope cannot get it. Mac gets the save, and Moggy tries to counter.
Now McLovin up on the ball, gets it over Mac. KJ 1v1. Rope is actually there, but a great save by Dutch Matty. And Mac actually gets it out towards Dutch Matty again. And it's back to Mac, but McLovin is in the goal and gets the save. Now Rope towards the middle. McLovin is there, has 0 boost, but still tries to follow it up. Steals the full boost there. And Mac gets it on the backboard to clear it out.
KJJ off to the wall. Takes a bit of time. Moggy not able to make any sort of challenge. Dutch Matty does make it for him. McLovin down, takes the shot, just going over. Rope tries it himself, not able to make anything. Moggy does put it away. Rope on the wall is trying to get that second touch, manages to get 3 in fact. McLovin gets a good challenge off of the wall. Moggy is there, ready for the challenge, and Dutch Matty does manage to take it instead. Rope off of the wall, gets another touch down to KJJ. KJJ unable to make anything. Mac from the corner, just pass into the middle. Is anybody in the mix? And McLovin clears it away. Dutch Matty intercepts it. Mac is now trying to read off KJJ, but he just put it away very nicely. Dutch Matty now into the mid. Nobody's home for Shadow to finish it off. 50 seconds left, and Auto Celerity are hanging on by a thread here.
Yeah, that was a really close save there. Actually, an Auto Celerity player hitting it into another, but now Moggy just scores there off of all the pressure that they've had. Nice pass onto the backboard again by Dutch Matty, and Moggy just hits it in. Rope trying to go for that squishy save off the top of his own goal, but doesn't quite manage to get it.
Shadow really securing this game. It would take a lot for AC to manage to turn this back around now. However, they do not need it nearly as much as Shadow do. AC now 2 up. Shadow trying to make it 2-1 and are trying this reverse sweep. But Shadow, whilst they may win this game, they certainly don't have a huge amount more attack than AC this time. We did see a lot of attack last time, and very little defense from Shadow. Shadow have tried to maybe reel in the attack a bit more, but keep that defense up. And we've seen that a lot more this game, and it has worked out because they have a 2-goal lead this time.
Yeah, we've seen AC also getting more shots in here than last game, but Shadow just managing to keep calm, get the saves they need, and also actually score 4 goals this series, which they haven't been able to do this game, sorry, which they haven't been able to do the last 2 games. So they're now trying to get that reverse sweep, and they're on a good way to do so.
AC, in fact, have more shots this time, so the the balance is very close with the attack because it is only 10-9 shots in favor of AC. And Shadow have 6 saves compared to AC's 4. So AC actually making shots that Shadow need to save more than Shadow are making for AC to save, or possibly Shadow are actually making the same amount or more than, and AC just cannot save it, and that's how they conceded more goals. So Shadow really are managing to take this a little bit better, even the playing field a bit, and beat them more at their own game. So reeling in that aggression has actually worked for them, which is something you wouldn't necessarily expect because we did see the aggression work out very well in strangling AC in their own half. But if AC were managed to get that big clear and get a counter, then they did manage to get those 2 goals that benefited them, despite only 3 shots. So they are making sure that they have that person back, which does hurt their aggression. But it has worked out for them in this case, and maybe it will work out in the next game if they continue it.
Yeah, we've seen a complete turnaround from the beginning of the series where AC were actually having a good shot, great shots and a good shot quality, but now they had a lot of shots and didn't manage to score a lot of them. And as that shot almost goes in by Dutch Matty, it's cleared by Auto Celerity. Now Mac in his own corner tries to get another touch, but McLovin is still on the ball. KJ is up, but beaten by Moggy.
Rope has a bit of time, does get a perfect clear. Mac allows, gets the hit. Dutch Matty allows it. He does bring it over to Moggy. Moggy now gets 1 touch, gets himself a second, brings it onto the backboard. Nobody's there. It's Shadow to take this home. Shadow, plenty of space. They've been allowed by AC to have so much more room here. Almost questionable from AC, really, allowing Shadow so much room.
Yeah, I believe we have a disconnect by a player here. McLovin has just lost the connection. That's the reason why Shadow has had so much space there.
I believe that Shadow have been Shadow are allowed. AC would be allowed to stop this game, it being in the first minute with no goals. But AC currently, as far as I'm aware, haven't asked for the game stopping at all. Flibbin might be making it back in very quick. Just waiting to see if this is gonna get stopped at all and reset for McLovin to join back. If not, he'll be allowed to join back immediately if he gets in. It seems we're getting a reset. Shadow would be nice enough to reset for AC to bring McLovin back in and play this game properly. We're going into game 4 in just a bit, waiting for McLovin to come back in, and we'll be resetting this game here in just a moment.
Yeah, really nice also from Shadow there, saying reset at 0-0. So we have the complete game 4 again, and Auto Celerity will have 3 players this time.
We have in this break, this could actually be kind of important in stopping momentum. We have seen it happen in the past. Breaking up a series when this happens does kind of stop the momentum which Shadow had tried to collect. However, I don't think it's going to be quite as important as it has been in the past because Shadow weren't really gaining too much momentum. They were kind of playing to a similar level as they were in game 2, just in a different style. And I don't think that they were gaining any momentum despite the win. I think it was just a different play style at the same level of skill. So despite Auto Celebrity being able to stop momentum of Shadow by this unfortunate event as a secondary effect, I don't think it's going to matter that much for Shadow. I think Shadow are going to go in at the same level of skill as before, and they're going to be quite the foe for Auto Celerity, trying to get this reverse sweep. Game 4, Shadow need this to make it game 5.
Yeah, they're definitely going to want to pick up right where they left off, because they were really playing well. They won that game against AC with some great shots and winning 4-2. So that's where they want to continue here, trying to get that second win of the series.
We are probably going to see Auto Celebrity change their playstyle as well a bit, because obviously it has worked. Their aggression in game 1 worked perfectly for them, winning 4-0. Their defensive ability worked just about well enough for them with a 2-1 lead in game 2. So they may look at that, look at their game 3 performance, where they had a bit more of a balance, and they may say, okay, where do we want to be? And it's either going to be more aggressive or staying back more, because when they had that balance, it just didn't work out for them, and Shadow were able to overtake them. So I think Auto Celerity are going to try and change their playstyle, while Shadow are going to keep in that balanced, half being aggressive, half being defensive, and Auto Celerity are going to have to pick either aggressive or defensive. If I was to pick for them, I'd say that they need to be a lot more aggressive, because it worked so much better for them in game 1 than game 2.
Yeah, I mean, Shadow doesn't really need to change up a lot because it's been working really well for them. But Auto Celerity just needs to get back on that good shot quality that they had in the first game and also in the second game. So if they manage to do that, then they'll have a much better chance here in game 4.
Waiting for teams to join now, not much longer. We are hopefully going. Well, whilst we wait, I think we should. Teams that are joining now, I'll quickly just mention that there is a couple more scores to report from the Master League currently. Crossfade beating No Hope 3-1, quite an impressive feat. Entice sweeping R5 Esports. Crown 3-1 4 Kings GG. And then finally from today, we also have Austrian Force 3-1 Vinctio, in case you're interested in those stats. They are the updated ones from today. Some upsets, some generally predicted games, but 4 Kings being that big upset of 4 Kings being predicted to be a very big team. Crown also predicted to be a very big team, but 4 Kings were predicted above Crown. So a very impressive performance from Crown to take that. Teams like Austrian Force beating Vinctio, we kind of expected, and same with Crossfade, No Hope, Entice, and R5. And then just now, in fact, this very minute, we had Newts 3-2 the Squids as well. So a lot of serious and Master play today that we've just had the results put in for. And we're looking for Shadow and Auto Celerity to be the next to put their stats in. Shadow wanting to claim it's a 3-2, and then Auto Celerity wanting this to be a 3-1 as quickly as they can, because if they let Shadow win this next game, they have got a strong chance at making this a game, a reverse sweep, in fact.
Yeah, they definitely have a chance, and they're going to want to do that as well. If they keep up playing as they've been playing here in this past game, I think they'll really be able to do that. But obviously, Auto Celerity not wanting them to continue their playstyle, going to try to stop them from playing as they've been playing this past game. And yeah, we'll see if they manage to do that.
The teams are finally in. They're about to join any second and will be undergoing Game 4 at last. A long-awaited game in a very intense series. Hopefully now the connection is a little better for these teams, and we're going to see a better performance. Game 3 being very intense from these guys. Hopefully we see a very intense game here again.
Yeah, I mean, we expect it to be another intense game, as all of the games in this series have been. And now Mac gets a flick out to the other half, but saved by KJ, who gets another touch, and the 50 goes into the corner of Shadow. Dutch Matty with the ceiling pinch, out to McLovin, flicks it up. Moggy is there to intercept, but McLovin gets the interception again off of Moggy's touch.
Matty down to the side. Tries to get another, but Rope intercepts it. KJJ there for the shot. And it is challenged well from Mac. Moggy over down to the wall to Mac. Mac does get that touch. Nobody's there for Shadow to get another one. KJJ up into the air. Rope manages to get a second. It is beaten. Shadow now trying to make their counter, unable to do it. McLovin beats them on the challenge. Mac, little boost to make another touch. Does manage to do it, although with a bit of a fake. Takes his time. KJJ being his only opponent for a challenge and does manage to get it over. Moggy now by himself puts it to the wall. Rope intercepts. Mac down to Matty. Matty has to get himself back. It has gotten away. Moggy has to be rotating into this third position. KJJ with a shot. Moggy is there. Good rotation from Shadow to allow this sort of defense.
Yeah, also KJ not being able to get the best shot as the pass came in so quickly, but good rotation by Shadow to get that save. And now the ball is back in Shadow's possession. Mac is up on the wall, gets it into the corner. Rope with a touch actually bumps into KJ. A bit of a confusing situation there for Auto Celerity, but they manage to get it out eventually as Rope clears it. Now Rope with the 50, but Mac saves it.
Moggy up for it. Gets it over to Mac. Mac now with a shot, and it's a perfectly placed one, but Rope just about able to make that save. Absolutely clutch from Rope. AC showing yet again this clutch defense that has been working for them in the past, and Shadow are doing quite well with their attack at this past minute, really.
Yeah, they're doing quite well, but no goals scored yet. We have seen some good saves. And now Dutch Matty all the way across to Moggy, but saved by Rope and McLovin as they were both up. Now Rope on the backboard can't reach it, but McLovin goes up instead. Now Dutch Matty on the wall with 0 boost. Rope gets a semi-good clear towards the middle. Now McLovin is there, almost dunked by Mac, and Rope gets another touch towards the corner of the wall and the floor.
KJJ over to the side. Dutch Matty intercepts it in the air. It is in the AC defense. It's a double commit. Rope and KJJ both up for him. McLovin has to get back. Isn't able to get a good save here. Dutch Matty now trying to make that shot. Does get it on target, but it's low enough that Rope can get it easily. It is in a difficult position for AC, and it goes in. Moggy now getting the first goal of the game after 3 minutes of hardship. 5 shots from Shadow, and it finally pays off now. Shadow looking to take game 4.
Yeah, and now we see the 1-0 with 2 minutes left for Shadow. Actually, McLovin's left there. I think they all have a bad ping, wanted to play on a new server. So we're gonna get that set up.
Try and get this done as quickly as possible with a bit of a less waiting time than last time. Poor servers. Rocket League have been struggling recently with this. These sign-up servers haven't been the best recently, so unfortunate from them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we're going to take this as game 4 or game 5. I would imagine this is still going to be game 4, though.
Yeah, I think they discussed it in the chat that they would pick up game 4 at 1-0. Not 100% sure though.
We're getting back in now. We are currently in, waiting for the teams to join back again any minute now. And hopefully we'll get this underway immediately and try work out the specifics of what this is.
Yep.
The teams are coming back in. We do have them both in, ready to join up, and they do. Getting this underway yet again. Seems a bit better for connection this time. Nobody seems to be struggling too much other than Rope for their ping, so hopefully this does go a bit better than before.
Seems like they're going to wait until 2 minutes.
So in the
Pick up
meantime, then we'll if we're gonna pick up there, I suppose we should just say as a prediction, with Shadow being a goal up with only 2 minutes left, and seeing the play that we saw from Shadow and AC, who do you think is going to take this next game then?
Well, I think Shadow definitely have the momentum here, as they've already won the last game. But we've seen Auto Celerity in game 2 also get the unexpected comeback. So I think it's anyone's game here. But if nothing unexpected happens, I think Shadow is going to take this game 4. And then maybe Auto Celerity can get back to their game 1 level in game 5.
Yeah, I think I'd predict that Shadow do take this next game, and then hopefully we can get into a game 5 situation just like before, our second best game 5 of the evening. And then we'll see where that takes us, because we did see the reverse sweep get shut down earlier in the evening when we were casting that prospect game. Do you think we could see AC shut it down in game 5, or do you think Shadow will continue showing they have some momentum and take this next game after this if they are indeed to win?
Well, I must say I was a bit surprised that they managed to shut down the reverse sweep in the last series, because actually you don't see that too often. As if you are already on 2-2 from the reverse sweep, you have a lot of momentum to be able to get the reverse sweep. So to be able to block that after 2 games that you've lost is very hard. But obviously it's doable, as we've seen. But for this case, I think that Shadow might have the upper hand if it goes to a game 5. But obviously game 5s are unpredictable. Anything can happen. But for my prediction, Shadow is going to be able to take this.
In that case, I'll counter that offer. I reckon Shadow will take game 4 and AC will bring it back in game 5. I think they're going to find their mojo and get a bit more aggressive like they were in game 1. I think they're going to recognize that is the strategy to go for, and I think that's where they're going to go with this in game 5, assuming Shadow win game 4.
Yeah, and now they're going to score on 2 minutes left to get that neutral kickoff in the middle. And we'll see how the rest of game 4 plays out here.
Game 4 now starting, 2 minutes, 1 second left. Quite a lot of delay here, but with 1 goal up for Shadow, let's see who's going to take this. AC doing the kickoff. Tries to get it over there. McLovin gets a good pass in. Mac manages to get it down to Matty. Matty down to Moggy. Moggy now with a shot. And it goes in all the way from the other side. Auto Celerity leaving their goal wide open.
Yeah, and Dutch Matty to Moggy was a good pass there, and they really caught out the defense of Auto Celerity and managed to go up 2-0 in this game 4.
A great play. 3 people needed for it, and it works completely perfectly for them. Managing to get from one side to the other when there are 3 people going for this ball is not the easiest thing to do, and Shadow did it with 1 touch from each player, and it worked perfectly. They do have a lot more chemistry than we expected in game 1, because in game 1 we saw AC have a lot more, and I think Shadow are now taking it back and having it for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. 2-0 up, looking really strong in this game. And there, Moggy actually with the open net, but doesn't have boost to score it. And hits the post on that second attempt. Triple commit for the save there. And now the ball up on the wall. KJ challenging Dutch Matty, but Dutch Matty gets the touch before him. Now a long clear. Moggy intercepts it, gets it to the side where Dutch Matty is waiting. Gets it towards Mac. Rope
Mac
on the backboard, able to save it.
Mac does hit it up a bit too high, really. If he had hit it a bit lower and maybe a bit closer to home, then somebody from his team might have been able to do it. Small mishap of team play that we haven't seen too much from Shadow in this game. With only 40 seconds left and 2 goals, it does look like AC's going to be struggling, but they do manage to get a good opportunity there, and KJJ just cannot put it back, but Rope now with a shot, just unable to get it, and Mac's going to put it to the side. A great series of shots there, or opportunities, rather, that didn't lead to a shot from AC, and they are able to finally get a goal with 23 seconds left. It's going to be incredibly difficult for AC, but it is still possible.
Yeah, nice goal there by KJ, getting the pass from McLovin, I believe. And they have 20 seconds left to equalize this, and it's very possible, and we'll see if they're able to score 1 more goal here.
McLovin tries to take a bit of time, gets a small touch and gets the challenge down. Mac puts up onto the wall. Matty is ready for the pass if he does get it, but nobody does. Shadow just trying to get the ball away from AC, keep the ball away from them, and buy that time because they don't need any more seconds. They just need it on the ground, and they do. Shadow take this game number 4, and we are down to our second game 5 of the evening.
Yeah, definitely exciting here. And we see both game 5s actually being 2-0 up, so 2-0 for one team, and then the possible reverse sweep. We didn't see one last series, but now we might see one, as Shadow are really looking to get that reverse sweep here. They definitely have the momentum to do so.
You predicted Shadow to take this game 5, and I predicted Auto Celerity to before seeing this, but I'm a little more torn now after seeing Shadow that game, the final 2 minutes of that game, really. I think Shadow could possibly take this, and they're more likely to than AC, because AC are struggling to find their footing this game compared to the previous installments in the series. I think they do need to bring up this aggression, and if we can see a lot more shots coming from AC, I think we are going to see a winner, possibly. And if they don't, I think Shadow it would be difficult for Shadow to not have this balance of attack and defense that we've seen from them this game and the one before that. I think they're going to keep that balance, and they're possibly going to take it unless AC can become very aggressive like they did in game 1.
Yeah, they're definitely going to try to just keep playing as they have been playing. It's been working out for them really well, and we'll see if AC can finally find a way to stop Shadow from their playstyle as they've been playing right now, because it's really not been easy for AC in these past 2 games.
KJJ tries to get it to rope. Shadow try to make that play. Don't make it happen. Mac onto the wall. KJJ does make it. And it is a great opportunity from Matty. Just about hits the crossbar. Moggy not letting this attack die just about yet. Manages to put it in the mixer. Nobody's there to get the shot. Matty, the only one back, tries to take time but doesn't get a great touch. And Shadow are struggling now. All 3 of them in a similar position. Mac off of the backboard gets a great touchdown. Rope down to his teammate. McLovin tries to shot and Matty does put it to the wall. Gets a great opportunity and just can't shoot it.
Yeah, now Rope gets it back in the blue half. KJ trying to go for the shot, but can't quite reach it. And McLovin is trying to keep up the pressure, but Dutchmet is having none of it and gets the ball into AC's half. And now Shadow is trying to build up some pressure to get the first goal of this game. But KJ with control, but 0 boost. Tries to get another dunk, but doesn't quite manage to do so. Rope with a dangerous touch towards the middle in front of his own net, but works out for him. Now KJ to Rope, who was waiting on the wall, but intercepted by Mac.
Getting this first goal is going to be vital for whichever team can do it. Moggy almost managing it. Whoever gets this next goal is going to have the confidence. Both teams being pretty equal in confidence right now, but whoever gets this next one is going to run away with it. Touch Matty getting just a tiny touch. Does leave only 1 person back for Shadow now. 3 people are there for the shot. Rope puts it away. Dutch Matty leaves it for Moggy to get a better touch. Smart communication from them. Moggy getting 1, tries to get another. Not able to beat McLovin. Matty with a lot of time, has a bit of boost. Moggy tries to get 1 touch and does, but he's bumped out of the way. KJJ by himself isn't able to beat Matty. Matty just takes it on the wall and tries to make that counter. Passes to his teammate. Mac is there for the shot, just goes wide.
Yeah, they're really trying to find each other on the field here with some passes, but they're just barely missing. And if they just keep up their shooting accuracy here, they'll be able to get the next goal, as they've been having so much pressure. Now, a bit of an unfortunate touch from McLovin, but works out for him. KJ was up there. Now, McLovin from the backboard, flicks into it. Rope with the follow-up clear. McLovin gets bumped, so he can't find the touch. And now Moggy onto the backboard, tries to follow it up himself, but leaves it for Mac, who actually scores the first goal of this game. And now Shadow are 1-0 up in game 5, and they're really in a comfortable spot now, and might be able to take the reverse sweep over AC.
With this final half of the game left, Shadow being one up, I did say it was a vital goal for whichever team could get it, and I still believe it. Shadow having this and now getting a second after an unfortunate miss from AC. I believe that was KJJ who just about couldn't get it, and Moggy takes advantage, showing his championship ability, winning in Season 2, looking for his second championship title now in Season 5 in the Master League. Moggy took advantage very well, and I think Shadow are now kind of running away with this lead almost, and also Celerity have almost no attack for Shadow to really defend.
Yeah, their Shadow are really looking strong now. They have all the pressure onto Auto Celerity, and also you can see maybe a bit of unconcentrated miss there, because he just missed the ball off the backboard, but Shadow was perfectly there to take advantage of it. And now they're looking to close out the series and just keep the ball up in the opponent's half so they can't get scored on. But now McLovin up on the wall, gets a long clear. Moggy is there to pick it up, gets it past one defender, almost dunks the second, but Rope is up on the attack. 50-50 by Mag, goes up onto the wall again. McLovin on the ceiling, flicks it towards the middle. KJ is there, but insane save from Moggy. And it's still 2-0 for Shadow.
With 2-0 up now, Shadow looking to close out this series. AC looking to make the impossible dream happen that Primal could not. Dutch Matty up for it, trying to make this final play. Auto Celerity need to get an attack going immediately. Both equal on shots with only 3 shots each. Shadow, a great shot there that just didn't work out for them. AC now making that counter attack. That could be the last one they need. Mac able to clear it, and it is unfortunate from AC now with the final shot. It's a great demo from McLovin. Robe goes up for it, tries the shot, unable to make it, misses it. McLovin takes the shot, and it is saved by Dutch Matty. So close from AC. Very disappointing. Moggy now making the counter attack, and it goes in. Shadow win this game.
Yeah, all the players from AC up, obviously, as they really needed to get a goal as quickly as possible. But they're just Shadow running away with it. Moggy gets the open net goal, and with 3-0 and 25 seconds left, I don't think that Auto Celerity have any chance of still turning this game.
It is all but over for the team that dominated that first game, and ever since Shadow have been showing up so much more. They did lose game 2, but they were so much more dominant for the majority of it. And I think the power rankings have shown themselves well here, with Shadow being ahead of them by only 1. It's a close series, and this game doesn't show just how intense it has been. It took until the final half of the game for anybody to take a goal in this game, and now Shadow have got 4. And it was all but nothing for AC. With only a matter of a minute left in this game, they had to go up, and they had to leave this net open, because if they didn't, they were never going to score anyway, and it didn't really matter. So it's a smart move from AC. They just couldn't manage it, and unfortunately they do lose, but all credit to Shadow. Reverse sweeping Auto Celerity, one of these teams that are supposed to clutch playoffs and possibly even get it. It's an impressive feat for Shadow, and does bode well for the future of this season for them.
Yeah, great win here by Shadow. They've really been showing up in the second half of the game, where they've just kept getting better and better. And now in game 5, they've been able to keep concentrated and keep their pressure up and take the 4-0 win over Auto Celerity in game 5. But that didn't really tell the whole story of game 5. As you mentioned, the open nets by Auto Celerity, as they just had to go up, they had to try to get the goal, but unfortunately they couldn't do so.
It is all but unfortunate for Auto Celerity here. I think it is this key aggression from Shadow that has done them so well. 8 shots from Shadow compared to AC's 5. It is a bit more of a difference, and despite that, Shadow still have an impressive 5 saves compared to AC's 2. So more than double the saves from Shadow, despite having 3 more shots on Shadow, and they do get the win with 4-0. So AC were getting shots, and shots that were on target, but Shadow were always able to save them no matter what. AC were not able to capitalize and get that final goal that they needed. So Shadow were able to make this counter, and they made several counters, and it was counters in this game, more so than the rest of the series, that really won them it. We will go over to Moggy any second now to get an interview with the MVP of the game, and we'll go there just now. Hello, everybody. We are back after that promo, interviewing the MVP of that game, the team to reverse sweep AC, Shadow, and we have Moggy from Shadow as well. How are you doing, Moggy?
Feeling good now. Feeling much better.
It's a very intense series there, and you did manage the reverse sweep. So, how did you manage, after losing that first two, what did you do differently to manage to take back that win?
Well, after the first two games, we sort of noticed that we had a lot of the pressure. And we knew that we were just piling the shots. The only difference they were making in the first two games is that they were just saving the shots. So what we tried to do was try and make more space for ourselves. So when we're going for shots, maybe not necessarily put them on target, or maybe go and put them to just the side or just above, and just keep up the pressure because we knew they were struggling with it. It was just McLovin was just making crucial saves, and fair play to him, he was absolutely amazing throughout the whole series. But it was just a case of we just tried to make sure we kept putting them on target or close to as possible, just try and give ourselves more space and force them to constantly make saves. And in the end, we were just able to make more space for ourselves and get those shots.
Very interesting strategy. Is it going to be the one that you potentially continue with when you start your next series later in the week?
I feel it's going to be dependent on who we play. For example, later in the week we do have Primal, and I know Feral very well. So it's, I think for us, for a lot of teams in the league, putting pressure at the start is really what's going to help us. But I think against Primal, I don't want to say too much what our strategy is going to be, but it's probably going to be slightly different just because I know Farrell a bit more and I know what he can do. So it's, for us, it's going to be dependent on who we play, as to what sort of playstyle we go for.
You were predicted to come above AC in the power rankings. You got placed sixth in the power rankings. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's fair or too low, too high?
I think it's fair since people only sort of know me. They don't really know DMAC or Dutch Matty that much. So I think it's a fair rating, especially for our DSNs. But we want to at least finish higher than that. We will be aiming to obviously win it as always, but I think we definitely want to make a few upsets, and there's a few teams that will sort of be surprised by us. So the aim for us is to really just come out strong and just show what we can do as a team, and just show that maybe 6 seed was a bit low for us, and they really need to sort of think about us as potential contenders for the title.
So your mind isn't necessarily on playoffs. Are you going for the big one? Are you going for the title this season then?
Yes, for me it was last season I sort of fell short of playoffs, and now I don't want to. I'll be happy with playoffs, but I think we have the right team, and I'm super happy with the guys that I got on the team to be able to go. Yeah, we're confident we could at least make a very good push for the title.
Is there any team that you're worried about possibly ruining that chance of getting the title and possibly starting a rivalry with this season then?
There's I've had a look at the teams, and there's a few very good teams there. Um, I know, for example, I think it's Deja Vu with Nugget and K3, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, Nugget K3
They,
and serve.
yeah, they look very good. Obviously, I know, obviously K3 as well as Serve in the league anyway, so I know they're going to be very good mechanically. So I think they're going to be a good contender. I know Austrian Force are a very strong side, but I think there's no one that I particularly fear. I think it's just a case of it's going to be there's a lot of good teams in there, but I can't be afraid of anyone when I've got DMAC and I've got Dutch Matic on my side and also Dot Super Sub. I'm not afraid of anyone with those guys because I know that if I don't show up, I know those guys can. So there's no one I'm afraid of.
Really impressive, having no fear of any team, really. It's good to watch out for some of these key teams like Deja Vu, as you listed. It's definitely smart and impressive to have no fear for such a strong roster as well. I think with that no fear and the aggression you've shown today, I think you could also make it quite far. So, congratulations on your MVP today, and well done on the reverse sweep. It's a really impressive game, really intense. We are going to go for a challenger game next, just after this, and we're going to be handing back, I believe, to Stocko and Spectre in the casting booth. So back to them.
Well, and welcome back, everyone, to the last game of this evening here, the Challenger game, Deja Vu against Austrian Force. We had a little change of plans. No Spectre here, unfortunately, so I'm taking over. But I'm joined with the Stocko there.
Yes, indeed. Hello, everyone. The Dream Team are back at it in the casting panel. It's a pleasure to be here once again for this game.
Yeah, that's true. I'm really happy to be here. After that amazing reverse sweep we just saw in the Master League, I'm really looking forward to this game. Deja Vu against Austrian Force.
Me too. I've been looking at both teams and I recognise a few names. Dijon 2018 Deja Vu. I have played with. Well, I haven't played with him. In fact, yes, I have actually. I was a challenger sub at one point last season, so I know what he's got. He's quite good, and I'm excited to see what he can do in the Deja Vu roster.
Yeah, that's true. And also Austrian Force being one of the special franchises with the Austrian players. Really looking forward to see what they can do. And yeah, I think all the players are already joining the teams, all ready here to play this game, and we're gonna enjoy it.
Quick prediction.
I'm gonna go with Austrian Force.
I'm gonna go with Deja Vu 3-1
Ooh, we're gonna be against each other again.
once again.
Once again, let's see this kickoff going in favor of Austrian Force, who puts it back in there. The specs going up, but the peak can save it there. Now Rocks putting it middle there, gets intercepted there by Chaos. Very good pressure going on from Austrian Force here in the first seconds of the game.
Yeah, and it's interesting that they're not playing Dijon. They are playing Rocks, who is classed as the sub of the challenger team. So they're not forgetting that you do have to actually get your substitute games in. So it might work out, it might not.
Yeah, that's true. And also Rocks being that GM might want to play that first game with his team here. Peak now putting it forward, working the ball, trying to get it middle, reaching a teammate, but the Cube is there with a nice interception. Chaos going up, switching up the momentum here. The spec going up, missing it. And Peak putting it into the room there. Oh, good shot there by Peak, just going next to the post.
Yeah, you said a very nice shot. No team really threatening other than that chance there, but it's kind of just back and forth between both teams, and one of the two teams needs to just try and apply the pressure a bit more constantly.
Yeah, that's true. Keeping that offensive pressure, that momentum going, making sure your enemy has no boost is so very much important here. Shot there by the Spakes, getting saved by Peak, and Rocks with the clear there. Cube intercepting it, putting it middle, but Chaos there with the controlling touch. Fortunately, his teammate is not turning, so it's Magic takes over the ball.
It does seem like Rocks is a very popular person in the stream chat. As we saw, he did have a good prospect season last season, so let's see if he can help his team out here, as it is quite a big jump from prospect to challenger.
Yeah, like the skill level increases a lot, but still, let's see if he can have a good season and even a good start of the season here. The Specs with a shot there just misses out there, but Magic is in goal, has problems, but Cube misses the shot.
Yeah, nice chance just wasted there. Both teams, as I've said before, not really putting too much of a threat on each other, as Pete goes for the double tap and just misses out on it, and Rocks was not in the right position to capitalise on that chance.
Yeah, but they keep the pressure up there, but Cube trying to change up the momentum, reach a teammate there, following his own shot up there, but Peak can put it away. Chaos missing there. Peak now tries to get at mid, but Spakes is well up there with the interception. Misses the ball, unfortunately. Cube makes up for the mistake there. Puts it middle. Can Chaos hit this ball into the net? Gets saved by Peak. Very nice there.
Yeah, both teams putting a slight bit of pressure on each other, but not enough to kind of really get under the skin of both teams. It looks like they're feeling a bit of the nerves from being streamed, so hopefully they can get over that, and we'll see a very intriguing game.
Yeah, being that first challenger teams that get streamed, you want to win. You want to make sure you get your reputation right in the league. Here's there playing his own teammate there, I think. Making up here, ball floating around the mid there, and Peak putting it forward. Gets it through there, Rocks with a shot, gets saved by the Spake, and Cube there, putting it to the other side. Deja Vu running back, has control over the ball there. Magic gets challenged there. Rocks is on the other side there, puts it middle, tries to work the ball into the box there for Austrian Force. Gets intercepted there. Peak now with a shot, goes crossbar, Cube is well up to save it.
Yeah, you can see both teams are definitely strong defensively, but just offensively, we just need to see the finishing product, as Magic went for the shot, just unfortunately missed the target.
Yeah, Gears now with a shot there, Peak with another save here, already having 5 saves in this game. Gears there, going up, Rocks intercepting it, putting it into the back corner there. Giving Cube some room here actually, who tries to put it mid. Shot of the Specs there, getting saved by Peak yet again. Peak really starting to be the savior of the team there with 6 saves.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of a shock thing to see, as you'd expect that to be spread out a bit more, but if that's his play style and that's his role in the team, you've got to expect it.
Yeah, that's for Cube now with a lot of room here, misses the shot unfortunately. very big opportunity there for Austrian Force.
Yeah, with
Now
19
Deja
seconds
Vu.
to go. It's looking like it's going to be close. Overtime is on our hands here, and it's looking very likely.
It's very close. Austrian Force now breaking the pressure, but Peak there putting it forward. Bit of a ping pong in the midfield going on now. Rox there floating with the ball towards the goal of Austrian Force there. Magic keeps it up, tries to get it middle, gets intercepted, ball bounces mid, but no one is there unfortunately.
Yeah, should no one being there, so it is in overtime and Peak at the top of the leaderboard for Deja Vu, but that is mainly for the fact that he's got 6 saves, so I do think if Deja Vu can step up a bit more offensively, they'll definitely put this game to bed and get the 1-0
Maybe a
lead.
demo on Peak will help. Who knows?
Definitely. They'll stop him from saving anything.
Now Peak going forward there, floating with the ball, having some room here, and tries to work that ball mid there. But Magic is there to block Cube. The problem now for Austrian Force, ball bouncing in front and that Peak coming in there and scoring as well. So Peak really being that MVP in game 1 with the saves and the overtime goal here.
Definitely. Peak just took his opportunity there. It was basically an open goal with all that ping pong going on in defence, but 1-0 to Deja Vu, and in my opinion, a well-fought battle between both teams, but Deja Vu did deserve it just that slight bit more.
Yeah, like you said, both teams playing very well there. Yeah, Deja Vu just taking that mistake of Austrian Force there in that last second in the overtime. It looked like a mess. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looked like a big panic. And yeah, it gives Deja Vu that first game win. With the 6 saves though, Deja Vu, good defense, and winning that first series with 1-0.
I would just like to point out how Austrian Force had 7 shots and 6 of them were saved by Peak. Like, that is crazy. So, wow, Peak definitely carrying his team in that game.
Yeah, Peak really wanting to win that game. Just keeping his net clear there. Refusing to give away any goals to the opposition there. And making sure he keeps that clean sheet going into game 2 here.
Yep, and game 2 is upon us now as we just wait. Who do you think is going to win this? You did predict Austrian Force. You think they're going to come back?
Yeah, I'm still going to stay with Austrian Force. I think they are overall a bit stronger on offense. But yeah, there is one guy that just takes it all away, and that's Peak at the moment with all the saves.
Indeed, that is Peak, and let's see if he can do this once again. Let's see if he can make it 7 saves in game 2.
Yeah. Also see the kickoff here, Magic going against the Specs, and Gears taking over that ball, breaks there, and Cube gets an opportunity to bounce it forward there. And again, Peak is there all over that space with room, tries to get double touch, but Peak again with the clear. So yet again we see Peak here clearing the ball 2 times. Cube now, open net, tries to get a shot, but it's too high there.
Yeah, as we've just seen there, I feel like if Austrian Force were just that little bit more clinical, they could definitely start the game off strong and get that advantage. But as we see, an actual almost goal, but Magic's there to save instead of Peak this time. But the chances are definitely there for Austrian Force.
Yeah, and again, a strong start, like you said. And now we have the Specs there, putting it in, and Rocks there with an opportunity. Put it middle, cannot reach a teammate, and Kiers is paying attention, putting it to the opposite corner. Space there.
Rox is definitely holding his own, 100%. Not something I expected, as obviously he was prospect last season, but as we can see, he's definitely been practicing well, and he's definitely putting in a shift for his team right now.
For Rocks there, putting it away, but Gears can intercept it, and Austrian Force here having a lot of pressure there, but just missing that last and final pass. And now on the pass on Rocks there, just being missed by him there, and Cube can barely save that. Nice offensive movement here from Cube, working that ball, trying to get it middle to his teammate, and the Smacks now on the way back. Last man there, Rocks is challenging, puts it middle there. An important moment here, and Peak putting it into the net and giving Deja Vu that lead again, while Austrian Force is being in the offense like for most of the game.
yeah, I'd just like to point out what a pass there from Rooks, just being so fast, stopping his opposition from having any time on the ball, and that's obviously led into that backboard pass and a goal from Peak.
Yeah, very nice goal, like you said. The Specs there putting a high crossbar onto Cube, who cannot hit it there, giving the ball there to Deja Vu, who gets forward and Peak there, puts it high. Magic going up, puts it to Rox. What a nice pass there, but Rox just misses out on the shot there. Nice offensive movement.
Yes, Austrian Force look like they're now under pressure, going from being the pressure to being pressured, and a nice shot there, and it's in from Rox. That was
What a goal here. Peak there, putting it high, top corner, and Rox being well up there. Way earlier than Cube, who didn't expect that at all, and Rox just making that 2-0 lead there for Deja Vu. Gears now putting a high ball there to the Specs, who tries to hit it but cannot reach it unfortunately, and now Peak with the counter moment here. Going up there, Gears tries to block it, the ball bouncing in front of net, Magic's there, cannot score because the other two Austrian Force players just went for that ball and smacked it on the backboard.
Yes, Deja Vu definitely taking a bit of control in this game now as it is 2-0, and Austrian Force just aren't really replying with any momentum at all. Deja Vu able to take the time and play the ball out as we see a double commit there.
That's true. Gears here with some room and patience here. Tries to get a pinch off. Fails unfortunately. Now is floating behind the ball. Rox intercepts the ball there. And the Specs putting it forward and going up. Peak is well up to save it there. So very nice job of him there. Gears now tries to hit it to a teammate there, but cannot pull it off. Rox now well up for the double touch. Just misses it out there. Nice try though. Gears now going up, intercepts that bounce of Peak there. And the Specs going forward. Cube just missing out, and Rox tries to clear it, but the ball is still in front of the net there. Nice bump of Cube here. And yeah, at the moment we're seeing Austrian Force here just being the offensive party again. Just taking control of the play, but cannot score there. But now a double whiff there, and Cube taking advantage of the mistake there made by Deja Vu. Yeah, as we can see, two guys missing, and yeah, the other one just putting it in. Cube smacking it into the net. And now we have Cube trying to get that ball forward, but Peak is there with the interception. Tries to get it back there, and Gears smacking it to the side, and that's back there. Just misses at the ball, and Cube puts it onto the back, but dangerous moments here, and it's 3-1 because Magic just smacks it into the ball, into the box there. Cube there tries to clear it, but Gears is too late, and Magic just places it perfectly behind the Specs. As we have seen, to lost stock over technical issue here, so I'm gonna be alone for a while, I think. Gears here, putting it forward, and Peak going up there with a nice clear. Cube now. Rox tries to redirect it into the net there, but no one is there to follow, and at the moment it looks like Austrian Force is a bit broken, if you ask me, because their defense is not very good at the moment. Now the Specs put it to the side there, and Cube now tries to intercept it, but Magix puts it farther forward here, and Rox puts it forward. Magix now tries to outplay the Specs, but he is not getting fooled by that ball here and just smacks it away. Now Rox there smacks it onto the post there, almost makes that fourth goal here for Deja Vu.
Do apologise, did have a few technical issues, but I'm back. Yeah, and as I can see, it's 3-1. Deja Vu definitely putting in a shift to get the second game, sorry, in the series.
Like we said, Chop again, not Chop, Stocko just chewing on his mic again.
Yes, so as we see the stats looking very strong in the favour of Deja Vu.
Yeah, true. And yeah, like you said, Very good game. Did you see the entire game or did you disconnect?
I saw most of it. I just like to point out how Spectre has been replaced by Chicken, spelt with a K. What do you think of this chicken?
Well, I know who's doing this.
This was done just especially for you, Chicken. We thought you
I
deserved
know.
a special announcement.
Yeah, well, that announcement is. I'm very happy with it, but yeah, I know it's you, Viking. I know it's you. So yeah, Stocko, do you still think Deja Vu is going to win this, or do you think there's going to be another reverse sweep? Oh. I think Stocko got eaten again by some other unnatural beast. But yeah, so I'm gonna go again alone, or is Doom gonna help me with color? Oh, we're gonna call Viking. Viking, if you're listening, come and join me.
Hello, hello.
Oh, that was really fast. Just calling in the Viking and immediately comes. I have to say thank you for the announcement there, Viking.
I couldn't resist, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I know. Rox now with a shot here on the crossbar. Rox with another hit. And another hit of Rox, and now going into the net. As I just disconnected my mic. So I'm sorry for that. After the 2 shots of Rox. But another shot of Rox goes in, giving Deja Vu that lead in that oh so important game to sweep Austrian Force.
That was yeah, so far this has been against expectations. I think Rox has surprised people with how well he's doing so far.
Yeah, Rox is doing a really great job. It's very fast in the air, trying to outspeed his opponent, and he's really succeeding with that as well.
I say it's I must admit the chat has not given him much credit so far, but
he's really doing a good job. Ooh, and a shot there off peak, and it just rolls in there by magic. I think a bit of a miscommunication there on the side of Austrian Force, and the Specs getting dunked by magic, and yeah, Gears thinks someone is back, but no one is there, and this was really savable if you ask me.
yeah, this is honestly so far been a bit strange for Challenger. Like, while yes, I mean, Deja Vu are winning this and comfortably, but in reality, they've made so many mistakes that should be punished for already. This is you have to think this is probably first week jitters here from both teams.
Yeah, true.
I'm gone for a minute and it's 2-0.
And Stocko returns.
for the third time this stream. Just thought I'd point that out.
Ooh. So, yeah, Rox right now is actually playing out of his skin. I'm actually really impressed with him. Seeing his prospect last season.
Yeah, true. Like I said, especially on the speed. Now, Peak there with a save there, ball dangerously. What a save again from Peak there. The Smacks in the goal.
No.
Shot of Vukers gets 2-1 there for Austrian Force.
If that wasn't a goal, that would have been a disaster.
Is that the first goal this series for Austrian Force?
Don't think so.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, they did
It
score
is.
first or second, so you got to start somewhere, and maybe they're starting now. Reverse sweep number 2.
We can only hope, can't we?
Be entertaining.
Well, at least the game 5 would be amazing.
Nothing beats a good old reverse sweep. Although I think Deja Vu would be disagreeing right now.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Can't have 2 of the teams losing on stream in one. Oh wait, they didn't lose. Never mind. Ignore what I'm saying.
Stocko.
The brain's getting out like his PC right now.
Peak now with the control. Puts it middle, 2 magic, puts it back to Peak there. Almost gets a goal there with a nice passing play.
Yeah, but you're thinking, what was the plan there? He just hit it at his backside.
The plan was to pass.
Pass to his ass. So, yeah.
Let's not start
Pass
with
to
this
the
again.
ass. Peak now going up. Nice. Trying to get a redirect off there. But the Specs keeping it cool there. gets under that, and Rocks again with the nice interception, puts it middle, but the orange team, Austrian Force, is well up.
I think so far, actually, the one player on Deja Vu who's concerned me a little bit more is Magic. Just because whenever I see him, he's always with someone else on his team. Isn't like he's always bundled up with either Peak or Rock somewhere. His fault or not, I don't know, but I keep seeing it again and again.
I mean, it's always something they can work on.
Doesn't seem to hamper Deja Vu that much because they're still up. Ooh, and then ball just gets onto the backboard there. A shot from Vukas goes wide, and yeah, that's Specs there with a nice interception of the clear of Peaks. Magic's missing the ball, and Rocks being that last man back there. Now there's a lot of space for Magic's here. One man back, puts it mid there to Peak, who just has the open net there to score.
That's more of an Austrian Force mistake than Deja Vu success there. That was a very poor challenge there. I'm not sure who that was, came flying in with a challenge, but should have better there, definitely.
I really rate that play, actually. Like, so many people just take the shot and then it's a save, but to be able to pass it there with such little time to react.
And wow.
Immediately
speaking.
4-1.
That was just straight up kickoff blunder. Again, like with kickoffs, I'm always hesitant to say one team did really well. It's more one team didn't do very well.
Yeah, true. You're exactly right. But taking a good kickoff, you need to practice it, and we should appreciate if you're doing that there. Well, Rocks there again, safe.
Yeah. Oh, and he had so much more time than that. I think more time than he thought he did.
Yeah, true.
Falling that, I think.
You've got to be putting them away.
With 1 minute left and another just missed opportunity with 1 minute left and 3-goal gap. I don't think Austrian Force can pull this off, but who knows? The Specs now with a lot of room needs to work this ball and tries to reach a teammate who's waiting middle. Gears is up there. The Specs going on.
Should be scoring that. Oh, he absolutely should be scoring that. I can't believe he missed that one.
I mean, you could say that for a few of them, to be fair.
This is true, but that was a sitter. That was an absolute dolly.
Austrian Force having a lot of opportunities there. Game 1 getting saved by Peak. Game 2 a bit bad, and now again Rock scoring, but in Game 3 they just missed the biggest chances you can get, and Deja Vu is scoring the opportunities they get. Again, Rocks with a really good placed shot in the upper corner there.
You do get the feeling. Oh, Doom is throwing some serious shade in the back room here. That's kind of brutal.
Doom is a shady man, so
Insta-ban.
Right, you do get the feeling now that Austrian Force, the morale has just shot. They just after that second win for Deja Vu, Austrian Force have just not looked like. I think look at this. Two of them flying through the air, no hope hitting the ball whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true.
Right now, this is a mess for
game counting down. We can say Deja Vu got that sweep there, almost 6 as well, but the time runs out there.
Yep,
good sweep there from Deja Vu. Stockwell again winning the predictions.
I'm just a winner. In casting 1v1s and predictions, I'm just a winner. Other than when my PC crashes, then. Not really.
That's the real win. That's the real prize.
Yeah.
Having a PC crash.
I wish I was a bloody loser then.
I think surprise of the game was Rocks there. I think first, because I think no one, as a sub for the team, I don't think anyone thought he was going to do quite that well. We all knew he improved, but that was much better than we thought he was going to be.
Agreed.
Yeah, true. And yeah, we have the poll being up for the MVP again. I think it just ended, and Rocks winning it out with 4 votes, and Peak coming second with 3. And the other players didn't get any votes. So
well, that's a bit one-sided, isn't it? Yeah, I can understand that though. Peak did sort of run the first game himself, and Rocks was just fantastic all around. So
yeah, that's
no arguments for me. No arguments for me.
No, but yeah, I'm not sure we will try to get Rocks into the interview booth to ask him some questions, see how he felt in his first official Challenger game, and yeah, but we got to wait for that. He needs to leave the field, and we need to get him get him into our room, and then send Viking in, I think.
Me? Oh, Christ.
It's going to be interesting. I've got the stream open for this one, lads.
Yeah. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the game, Viking? You've watched the first couple of games.
I watched the whole evening, actually. I've been.
Well, what were your
watching-
thoughts of the evening?
So the evening, the reverse sweep was just superb. That was entertaining as anything. The prospect game.
Let's not talk about that, please.
It was a bit lopsided, that one. I'll be honest. That was a bit of a weird one to me, but not the worst I've seen in the world. The last game, yeah, I mean, Deja Vu, I think, definitely had a claim to just dominance there. Austrian Force, don't know what happened. I'm not sure if they have a particularly new roster this season or if it's the same ones, but that was definite poor communication, poor teamwork. They let them down there, I think.
Yeah, well, the thing is, what you said, Austrian Force started off very strong on like field positioning, and they just had the game under control. And Deja Vu just getting that one opportunity, scoring in the overtime, and after that, Austrian Force just collapsed in game 2, and then game 3 they just missed a lot of opportunities.
In my opinion, the difference between both teams were Deja Vu were clinical in front of goal, and Austrian Force just couldn't finish the dinner. Even if they were bloody starving, they weren't finishing it.
Yeah, that's true. And I think we are having Rox ready to go over the interview. So I think we're gonna have a little cut, and then we are gonna be with Rox and asking some questions. And if the chat has anything to ask the Rox, you can put it in chat, and we'll try to ask Rox your questions.
Okay, Rox, are you ready? Are you there?
Hello, yes, I am.
Hello, hello. So,
Hello.
you have been given the MVP for this game.
Yeah, so I'm glad to hear that.
Also, you sound like you're in a cave, but I will carry on.
Yes, I am. I'm a fucking caveman, so.
Oh, what? Language. Oh dear. Language from the moderation team.
Yes, that's Fanta.
So, yeah, I think everyone was surprised. I mean, no offense to you, but everyone was surprised at just how well you did in that game, coming up from prospect and being the sub of the team.
I felt like I played well, to be fair. It clicked well with PK and Magic, so it was nice to see it actually pops off in a league play game as well.
So I think at the start, I mean, I think the first game, would you agree Peak was doing quite a hard carry there in the first
Yeah,
game?
definitely. Magic and me were just a bit risky the first game.
I mean, is that down to just not playing together, or is it just nerves?
We all three of us just came on like 5 minutes before the game.
Oh,
together or so.
have you done a lot of prep for the season, or has it just been casual when you can get it?
We've done a few scrims here and there, but not a lot, to be fair.
Okay, so who's your targets for the season? So who are the big names you want to take down this season?
Rivalry-wise, it would be Vincio, because Crusader. I know because we know each other quite a while now, so it'd be nice if we could beat them.
Okay, and what about your picks for like big teams? Like they're going to be difficult plays for you?
Probably No Hope and our Ireland big names in our division.
Okay, so that's just your pick. I think RLI actually have a lot of support in the chat in general right now. I see a lot of
but yeah, just like last season, I know they've picked a team. I know they picked the best team possible, so it will be a tough job to beat them.
Okay, I must do it. This is actually amazing watching the chat. They're just guessing where you are. Bottom of a well, Atlantis. I think is an option here.
No, I'm in the living room, but my mic of my headset just broke, so I have to speak through my webcam mic. So that's why it sounds terrible.
All right. Well, hopefully the next time we speak to you, it'll be a bit more high quality there. For now, I think we'll have to let you go for now.
I will try.
Okay, man. Well, thanks for coming in, and well done for the
No
match.
problem. Thanks.
Okay, so we're just going to take one last look at that glorious promo before we head off for the evening. And I'll probably invite Chicken, Socko. I know you're lurking around here somewhere.
I'm
Do you want to say
still
goodbye?
here.
Yes. So,
yeah, thanks for the people who stuck around the whole night. It's been interesting, and it's been a pleasure casting when my PC hasn't crashed.
Yeah, true. And I just got into the last second and got this amazing announcement made by Viking. Very nice. Just for a quick heads up, like you said, guys, we almost reached 100 viewers today, so that's really good for a stream. So really happy with that. So thanks everyone who made that possible. And we are going to be back on Wednesday with 3 amazing games: 1 prospect, 1 master, and 1 challenger game. Again, hopeful for another great night of Rocket League. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed, and we might see you Wednesday.
yeah. So, see everyone then.